Welcome to the G52 podcast, your Horus Heresy safe space, a place for bullshit and bad hobby advice. So if you want to join in, like our Facebook page, Geno52 Podcast, join our Facebook group, Geno52 Podcast, follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Geno52 Podcast, or drop us an email, Geno52podcast@gmail.com. Always remember, the Geno52 Podcast does contain adult humour. Hello and welcome to the Geno52 Podcast. We're back again, like that itch that you just can't get rid of. Back again for another quick chat and some hobby bullshit. Well, I say quick chat with all that's been going on this week. I think it might be a little while we're here. But first, let's say hello to everyone. So, as per usual, I'm here with Stu.
Hello, everyone.
And I'm here with Nick.
Come, dogs of Russ.
Is it safe to say you're a little bit excited about the stuff that's come out today?
Oh, yeah, it's going to be fucking amazing.
Cool. Well, shut up for a bit because we're going to do that in a minute. So we're going to cover that in a bit, yeah? Should we do get the admin stuff out of the way then? So, Stu, what have you been up to since we last recorded then?
What have I been up to? Still working away on a Raven Guard commission, which I'm pleased to say is really nearly done now, because as much as I've enjoyed doing it, I want to paint some of my own stuff. And painting a whole 2,500 point army in a month is quite hard work, especially when you only do it part time. What else have we been doing? We both got our Zone Mortalis stuff from tagged events, so that's all been cut out. Spent an evening cutting it out. I say myself and my wife spent an evening sitting watching telly, cutting it all out, and I've bought some black foam core sheets to stick it to. I'm not quite going to build it the way it's supposed to be. I'm going to cut the tabs off and stick it to foam core to make it a little bit more durable.
Yeah, that was my plan too.
Just want it to last a little. I don't want it to be crushed, because I think once it's crushed, you're never going to be able to sort of puff it back out again. So it should make it last. I'll probably stick some washers on the bottom of the bits as well to stop them from sort of moving around quite as much. If you breathe too heavily, they might sort of shooting across the shiny table. But they look awesome. I can't wait to get it done. I wanted to get a couple of games in before our event, really, so we could have a table set up if people wanted to use it, but I'm just going to struggle to get it built in time, I think. But we'll give it a go. Give it a go. If I've got it built, I'll bring it down to the event, so if people finish their games early and they've got an hour left in the round or something and they want to sort of bash out a quick sort of 750 points Zone Mortalis game, they can have a go, which would be good, I think. But other than that, not much. So I've nearly finished my fake Dawn, and I've probably got a sort of an afternoon session left on my my quad mortar, and then the fists are done, and I really want to get my solar orcs in. It's going to be something that's said in the beginning of every episode, saying I can't wait to get my solar orcs started, but I can't. Got some more Velataris arrive, and I've had a second Dracosian, so that's 2,500. I think I'll get there. Infernus in the new year with hopefully some Christmas and birthday money, and I'll be up to sort of 3k. So yeah, that's me really.
Nice. I'm looking forward to you getting that Raven Guard commission finished, so I stop having to play games on a Tuesday night with Kurt sitting there looking longingly at the table moping around because he's got no army.
He's left his 40k stuff with me as well. He brought it all over in a case, so he's got his 40k Raven Guard here as well, so he could come and get it and play some games. But
he keeps saying, I think somebody said to him on Tuesday, was like, do you want a game? He's like, I've got no army. Like,
why did you leave it at yours? Like
it's not
for the paint scheme or something?
I don't know. I've not looked at it. It's in the bottom. It was all in the same case, so he just left it all here. It's not much. It's probably only 1,000 points of Raven Guard, but yeah, I don't know why he's left it here. I mean, I wanted to finish it a week ago. He was a couple of days late giving it to me, but unfortunately I work Mondays and Tuesdays, and he gave it to me Tuesday night, so it was pretty much 3/4 of a working week. So that put me a little bit behind, and it's taken me a week longer than I expected anyway. I probably done a bit more line highlight.
It's all going to be happy and ready in time for tasks.
Yeah, he's gonna get it for Monday or Tuesday, I imagine. This coming Monday or Tuesday. No one knows when that is because no one we're recording. It's Friday the 14th at the moment. So yeah, he'll get it Monday or Tuesday. So I'll either meet him at club with it or I'll deliver it to his new flat because he just bought a new house. He just bought a house, hasn't he? So
yeah,
I'll turn up unannounced and drop it off.
He probably left you his 40k stuff, so it's one less thing for him to have to move at the moment. So no, he wasn't looking forward to packing and moving. I think he said he's been living on a sofa for a few weeks while he's been sorting out this house buy. So
Yeah,
he's looking forward to getting it.
I'm not
I
surprised.
keep telling him he's got to get room for a table, so we can get.
Yeah, games around Kurt's place.
Well, it's a 2-bedroom house, he said, and one room's just going to be a hobby room. I don't know how big it is, but I think there'll be some games there.
Hobby room comes sex dungeon.
The perfect crossover between two hobbies.
I don't know how much crossover is between gamers and sex dungeons, but I'll let you guys fill that in.
I think Chris at Vangarian is the expert on crossovers between hobby and sex dungeons, isn't it? Or was that just his van?
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm not entirely sure it's sex dungeon, but it's definitely snatch and grab dungeon that he's got.
Oh. I was going to try and make like a 50 Shades of Grey sprue type reference, but I can't think of anything.
Yeah. Do you think that Warhound he's been working on is some kind of sex dungeon implement, really?
Well,
is there something quite sexual about Titans, to be fair?
Yeah. Come here and look at me, my massive Titan.
My massive compensation for something.
Oh dear, what does that mean if I want a warlord then?
I was going to say, says the guy I don't even remember how many Titans I own now. Like 5?
Yeah. I think we were up to 7 at some point, weren't you?
Oh dear God. Okay, moving on.
What have you been doing then, Nick? What have you been doing apart from just building everything ever?
I have a secret plan. So those who may remember, I was really upset, even though I technically came second or like won our first 30k event.
You came second. I beat you because I got more points.
It's
only because you're not allowed to win your own event. Apparently.
Yeah, you class yourself out of the run-ins, as it were, right? But yeah, playing Mechanicum, specifically Cybernetica, and I was just, they're so ridiculous. Like, they're absolutely ridiculous. I had loads of discussions with people since, and it's to the point of not being fun. Like, you can't even take like a fluffy list, because their fluffy stuff is like all of their stuff. Like, you just take robots and they smash everyone's face.
I didn't smash me.
It's bonkers. Well, I would have tabled you eventually.
I held you to a draw in the time period. That's the important thing.
You had like 1 unit left or something, didn't you?
No, I had a Spartan you couldn't kill, and I had my Praetor running around.
And the Praetor ran around on his own.
Yeah, but he killed your Magos. He was tearing through your Castellax. To be fair, I mean, Mechanicum are pretty harsh, but what I learned from that is once you close the distance and get into combat, they're not that bad.
Oh no, they definitely have the counters. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
For me, I meant more.
But getting there is a pain in the ass.
Okay, I'll restate then. I'm more of the opinion that they're so easy mode that everything's at a certain level, and they're relatively point and click. The synergies are all relatively simple, but there's a bit of depth to the list building, and there's that kind of need for the Tyranid style, keeping the everything within range of the Cortex controller, so the robots don't go fucking beep 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 and just wander off and smash them into a wall repeatedly. But apart from that, like, there really isn't any kind of real skill to it, and it was really boring, and it just felt really. If you want a more difficult list to play, I'll write you a drop pod and vets list. Yeah, that seems to be the generic advice from a lot of people recently. Like, what? So I've got this 2,000 point list. Can you like, give me some advice?
You know what? I'm going to buy you a ticket, and I'm going to send you out to Texas, and I'm going to let Mr. Kimmel school your ass.
Well, I don't know. If people call me, get called up for 1v1s. If you fly me over, I will happily go over and enjoy losing, just for a free holiday. But I just anyway.
There you go, Ryan. We're coming to Texas next year.
Give me that ticket. I'll come and eat all the tasty food. And
to be fair, I'm going out to Texas to drink and eat. I may take an army, but I might be too pissed and full to actually do anything.
Sounds like a plan. Sounds good to me. So yeah, didn't enjoy robots. They're amazing. I love the models. I love Mechanicum. I love just building random Magi out of bits, and they just look awesome. But just didn't enjoy playing them. It felt really, really really dumb and really overpowered for what they were. I mean, I appreciate it was quite low level points, so it's hard for people to bring.
I think at 2.5. I think you came up against my 2.5k, 3k list. I think you'd have a harder time.
Yeah, but then so basically at 2.5k, I can have what I took plus a knight plus Scoria and like 4 extra robots.
Scoria's a fucker though, because Scoria should be a Lord of War.
Yeah, and about 150 more points. But like that's what I mean though. Yes, they're broken at low levels, but it doesn't necessarily rapidly kind of balance out as you got the points like you think it would. They go from being really, really crazy powerful to just kind of crazy powerful. So long story short, I basically wanted to try something else at an event. I didn't necessarily want to be seen as that guy that just turns up with what I had last time plus Scoria and a knight, which would make it even.
You are King Power Gamer.
Yeah, everybody knows.
but that is actually what you're taking to the next event, though, isn't it?
Yeah, that is. No.
When I get the list of missions for Scoria,
that's the secret. I am taking that. Yeah, I'm taking with Allied Knights as well. That's what.
When I get the list submission for Nick and Scoria, I'm just going to send him an email back saying banned.
I don't want to be that guy, but it's all I've got painted, and that's probably all you'll have painted for the next.
Let's face it, realistically, the best chance of being fully painted by the next event is playing your Mechanicum.
So I have a secret project on the go. I've been secretly toiling away on a project, and I've got to say, after you would not believe how much math hammer, even more than usual, and like crazy mapping out of possible scenarios and tactics and deployments, and reading through some of the missions, which was like, oh my god, reading the missions, what the fuck? I have an idea. I have a list. It is the fluffiest incarnation of. I can't give too much away. It's a very fluffy take on the list I want to, on the Legion and on the list I want to take, and I don't actually think it's going to do very well at all. I'm probably going to get absolutely tabled every turn, but it will look amazing. It sounds really cool on paper, and it should hopefully be fun for people to trounce me, which will mean I can try, and if I pull off a win, I can be a big-headed fuck for the whole day and maybe even longer, because it will be very underpowered compared to what most people are bringing. So I might actually enjoy that more than robots.
So when you turn up with 3 Spartans and a knight, we'll consider that fluffy, shall we?
Yeah, that's it. That's his posse. The knight's just like going around with his like bouncing Spartans on crazy hydraulics.
Bring your posse, bring your crew.
Yeah, that's it. So yeah, secret project. Shh, can't tell anyone. Super secret.
So is this an imminent secret project, or just something you've been list hammering, or have you actually been working on something?
No. So I have built. I've built about 20 models, or partially built, because we had a discussion the other day about maximum. So I'm doing a lot of it on a kind of like a build with now. Well, going to try the airbrush. I'm going to build it very much like batch painting.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to maximize like 10 guys, base coat down, pre-shading, zenithal, and like 10 or whatever at a time, and then shoulder pads. So I was trying to work out when asking you guys about keeping shoulder pads on or not with airbrushing, keeping backpacks on, keeping guns on for access to the chest, trying to balance kind of a decent tabletop. Well, I say decent. The best tabletop kind of quality I can achieve with my first airbrushed army, balanced with I've only got like how many weeks have we got? Yeah, 3 weeks. Balanced with 3 weeks of painting from scratch, and I'm building and painting an army. So we'll see how it goes, but I'm quietly confident that it will be finished in time.
Wow, how much time are you getting to do that?
Not as much as I'd like, but I'm quietly confident that I'll get it done. I'm quite well along the way. I say I've built probably half of the models, almost half the models, and it's just a case of jumping into that like batch painting process. Because once I've got the first like 10 down, there's literally, like, I wouldn't say it's spam, but there's a lot of infantry that will have very similar, and believe it or not, it's not tactical marines, but there's a lot of infantry that will have very similar armor. So I should be able to paint
it won't take you very long. It won't take you very long to paint Scoria in one night, so...
Yeah, Scoria and 20 Castellax is pretty easy batch painting, so...
Oh, I'm really excited to see this, to be honest. It's going to be cool.
Cool. Like I said, bear in mind, you've got to get your list in, and anybody else who's coming to Tarsus, I've had one list submitted so far, so get your fingers out and get your list in.
Oh, shit. So who is that public knowledge before the event?
It's in the event list. You've got to send me your email.
No. Will my list be public knowledge?
No. I like turning up and not knowing what you're going to play and being surprised, but I need all the lists submitted to me. I think it's a week before the event. So
okay, well, no taking bribes. I don't want you taking backhanders and giving out my list to everybody.
That's the whole reason I get the list in. So when I email people back and go, well,
list tailored to kill Nick, everybody.
Yeah, this is what you're going to come up against. So make sure you've completed for this, and I just send them your list every time.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
So yeah. No, but general reminder to everybody coming to Tarsus. I need your lists in a week before the event, so get them to me, because bear in mind, if you send them to me a week in advance and I send them back going, that's all fucking wrong, or you're a dickhead, that's overpowered, you might have to work on something. So get them to me soon. I've had one in already, so from Tom Clowes, I think. I apologise if I've just fucked your name up big time, but yeah, he sent me his list in, so he wins, instantly gets one salty handshake already for being the first person to submit a list.
Tasty.
Tasty. Cool. So I guess that leaves what I've been up to, doesn't it? What have I been doing, everyone? I don't know. I painted my Scorpius. I repainted my Scorpius.
That did look nice. I like your Scorpius.
The poor thing is bad to fuck. It's got one missing bolter. None of it lines up properly. It was the first model I made from Forge World. But after it repeatedly deleted squads off the table, I thought, I can't get rid of it. I can't. It's just, it is... I think I played James's Iron Warriors and it took a full 10-man tack squad off in one go because I got the Warlord trait that gives it shred as well. So 4 shots with shred, strength 8, AP 3. Yeah, goodbye tack squad out in the open. Thank you very much. You're gone. I think it did the same to a few other people. I thought, I've got to give it a paint job. It's got to be part of the Legion now. So that's been thrown up. I can't remember if I finished Gilliman or not. But yeah, Gilliman's been finished. What have I been doing? I've been battling this bloody Storm Eagle. I think I'm up to 12 hours.
What, building or?
Yeah, I'm 12 hours in now, and it's built and it's black, and I'm going to get ready to pre-shade it. I mean,
now, don't be racist.
No, it's been flat black painted. So I mean, I've done some other bits on it. I've done the exhausts. I've heat scorched the exhaust and stuff. But yeah, it's a slow build, but it's Gilliman's ride, so it's got to be perfect. It's got to be Pimp Daddy. So it's been taking a while. Worked on that. I painted up some TAC Marines. I put the armor down on some TAC Marines because for escalation in April, I need another 10 TAC Marines. So last of my Calth Marines got painted. I got to build and paint 8 more melter gun guys. I've got 3 Rhino chassis to build and paint before April. So yeah, I've been quite busy. I painted up that Venator, didn't I? Duncan's Venator, that Iron Hands Venator.
That also looked lush. Yeah, I really like that. Anything in black looks fucking cool. Oh god, that's terrible as well.
It's not, Nick, until you keep going.
No, nobody thought of it.
Nobody draw attention to the. Oh dear. No, it's really hard to paint black. You did a really good job of that because it's really, as I know at the moment.
It looks good. It looks good.
Yeah. After talking to you the other night, Stu, when we had a game and you were in line highlighting hell.
I'm doing it now. I'm still doing some final line heighting on Kurt's Maud Athan at the moment, and they'll be done. They'll be done in the next hour, thank God, and it'll be on to chipping and basing and stuff then. So. But yeah, you did an awesome job on that Venator.
Yes, it was nice to paint something that wasn't blue for once. I've literally all I've done for probably Oh, what have I been painting for about 3 years? I probably had 6 months of painting Blood Angels, which was red, and apart from that, all I've done is paint blue. So it was nice to paint some red, paint some black for once, and do that. So that was quite cool. Yeah, I think that's about it. I got my Zone Mortalis table from tagged events like you did, Stu. It's just I've got it sat under a load of heavy books flattening. I need to find something suitable to bribe the wife with to sit down and make it with me. Because to be fair, when it comes to these crafty type things, like stuff, she's much better than me. She's really good at sewing and stuff. She's made her own trousers
I
and
was just
stuff.
saying she's made some trousers recently, hasn't she?
Yeah, made some trousers.
She's made her. I love this. She's really good at crafty stuff. She's made her own trousers. How is that even remotely comparable to what is it you wanted to do? Build a Zone Mortalis board?
Yeah,
She's
but
good at
what-
cutting. She had to cut some material for
Materials, like
she
she's
can
good
cut
at cutting.
she can cut
Transferable
a
skill
straight
sets.
knife.
She can use cutting implements.
I'm not allowed.
You'd make a really good butcher as well. The local butcher are hiring. Like,
I'm not allowed to use big scissors because I take the end of my fingers off with them. So I need an adult to do the adult things for me. Do you ever remember watching Blue Peter?
remember, kids, always ask an adult before using sharp implements.
Yeah, we used to get the Blue Peter, and now we need to cut this, and you should probably ask an adult to help you with the sharp knife.
If you look
No,
over your
take
shoulder, and ask your parent, and you're like, I only have a mum, and she's working at Argos. So
Yeah, my dad's an alcoholic, and I don't know where he is.
yeah, I don't want scissors anywhere near him after
Yeah.
last time.
Yeah, after last time, I've still got the scars around my groin from that.
Oh,
Right, that's got
dark.
dark. Yeah. Anyway, well, I'm just looking around. I don't know. I had a bit of a slow time because I sent George off to the MKA painting course with some bits of my hobby stuff, so that slowed me down a little bit as well. But yeah, it was pretty cool. I've got a big hard on for flyers now from seeing all the MKA guys posting their flyers stuff up. Looks like it was an awesome
So
weekend.
is that was what they did the last weekend, the last MK course. The
Yeah.
second was flyers, yeah, or for the people that had already done the first part.
Yeah, so for the people who don't know how MKA runs, really, everybody when they start goes on the tanks course because that's the basics, gets everybody done. Once you've done the tanks course, you can move on to the other courses. So at an MKA weekend, normally there's the tanks running, and I think Henry took it this weekend, so everybody got really cool models because Andy wasn't there, so everyone got nobody dry brushed their tracks, so I'm gonna get some shit for that. But yeah,
What is wrong with dry brushing tracks? Oh my god,
nothing, but
snobbery.
I can't remember, but I remember Matt giving Andy some shit about he'd have won a golden demon if he hadn't dry brushed his tracks or something. I know there was some.
Didn't he actually win a golden demon for the one he did dry brush his tracks? Isn't that what it was?
He did. I think it was Salute that he didn't win a prize for, and Matt was giving him some shit and said if you'd have done the tracks the MK way you'd have won it. But I've probably caused unnecessary beef now, and Matt's probably going to throw me off the course next time. But
I'm just waiting for the Facebook. You've been removed from the group.
I'm just talking. Got to stir up some animosity around people, distract from the fact that I'm not painting anything by causing beef. I think Andy said he's going up to this Throner Skulls event. And he's taking 2 Typhons and 12 pod mortars. So
What the fuck? The drama is already bad enough. Does he really need to add to it by turning up with a fucking arsenal of artillery?
And he's going for his Ultramarines makes no friends list, so I don't need.
I've just taken you off, and by the way, I'm going to wish best painted as well.
Yeah. There was a lot of stick. I don't know if you guys follow the SN Battle Reports Facebook group. They run the No Retreat over in Gibraltar, which are awesome 40k events. And
the Dark Elder won. Everyone was like, "What the fuck?" Again.
Yeah, well, Andy was out there playing, and he didn't win best painted for something, so there was a lot of stick. And it was then pointed out that the reason he didn't win is because he was judging it.
Oh, that's fair. That's even worse. Why did he definitely should have won? That's ridiculous. Did he vote for somebody else?
I don't know. I wasn't following the beef that much, but yeah. So yeah, I've been pretty productive. I still haven't painted my terrain for Tarsis. I just need to get the rattle cans out and just blast them. It won't take me too long, but I need to. I've sold my Spartan now. That gets rehomed in 2 weeks, so I'm a week into it now, and I've got a week to finish the Storm Eagle. Otherwise, I haven't got a playable army, basically. So better get on with that. That's giving me a
Just
deadline.
leave it black like you did last time. It'll be fine.
Stealth Spartan. It was a stealth Spartan. You look at the B2 bomber and stuff. They're all black.
Yes, have a stealth Storm Eagle. That'd be perfect.
Yeah,
Okay.
stealth Storm Eagle. I might just give it. I'm quite good at painting black now. I've done that one. I might give it a few grey highlights. And it's called. Put an ultramarine on the front of it and go, it's stealth, mate, innit?
It is stealth, because I genuinely, when we had that test game, 2 Fridays ago, when we had that test game and you deployed first and I was deploying, I was looking for it, I really couldn't see it. And it was because it was sitting in the middle of a black crater on the game mat. And I was just up there, so it is a fucking stealth Spartan. So
stealth
yeah.
Spartan. You went, where's your Spartan? I went, it's right in the middle of my deployment zone. Oh shit, yeah. The lighting wasn't great and it was on a blackboard. Stealth Spartans, that's the way to go. I'm just going to give it a few grey highlights and it's going to be a stealth Storm Eagle. Perfect.
Lazy painting. I don't know.
Yeah. How much you got painted, Nick? To be fair, when we go up against Stu, the both of us are fucking awfully lazy painters. Stu's rattling out commissions every week.
Yeah, but he does it as a job.
I kind of have to, yeah.
And he has, and he's got other spare time or things he can. I don't know how you manage it with a kid, but like
he doesn't do anything.
I just don't have any time unless I sit and make even. I tried to work out this week. I had 2 half-hour slots where I was like, I actually know I can sit down and do something. I was like, bang, half an hour.
Stu just lets Jacob run wild in the garden and just sits there and paints while he just climbs trees and throws himself off.
I wish. Next summer he'll be old enough, hopefully.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say he just straps him to the chair and gets him high on fumes, and then it's nice and calm when the wife comes home. Oh, he's been a good boy all day. Why is he so quiet? And he just hides a kite in the corner.
Unfortunately, I could never paint with him around. He's too much into everything. He'll be. As soon as every time he comes in the man cave, he's just grabbing stuff off shelves. It's a fucking nightmare. But I have to do it when he's asleep.
Get a little production line going.
Yeah, that could be my unique selling point for my studio. You want your shit painted like a toddler.
You know what? There's some stuff out there that would probably be better painted by a toddler.
I was going to say, everyone always mentions the the particular aesthetic or style or approach to painting, and if you do want someone to paint your minis for you, you need to find that right painter that's got that right approach and that right feel to their minis. And they go on your Facebook page, it's just like fucking crayons all over the place.
I can't really claim it's Blanche-esque, can I? Really? It's saying that I'm a big little caveat there. I'm a big fan of Blanche's style, actually. Before anyone thinks I'm taking a piss out of it.
What's more Blanche than making a small child paint mercilessly in the production line? That's grim dark as anything.
While strapped to a chair high on fumes with his own blood from his nails. Yeah. Anyway, dark. After last time, social services are keeping a hawk eye on.
Yeah, to be fair, Nick, immigration are keeping an eye on you as well.
Immigration? What?
I've heard some vicious rumours around the trap, so I won't go into them.
Swiftly moving on.
Cool. Right. I think that's about covered the crap we've been up to, isn't it? So, let's have a look at things we've seen around. I mean, the first thing I think we want to give a shout out to and a welcome to is Jake from the Covenant of Fire podcast. I almost said Aya Horus then for some reason. I don't know.
You're in love, Tom. You're in love.
I'm a little bit in love. I mean, to be fair, I came back today and I picked up my phone after being in 2 meetings and there were 300 messages in the podcast group. So I don't know what Jake thinks he's walked into, but he's joined our 30k podcast community. So go and check him out on Facebook. Give him a download. Have a listen to him. Jake's.
Where were those guys based? Where are they based?
I'm gonna say America because I can't
Tennessee,
remember.
I think.
Tennessee, yeah. I know there was some talk of pickle and southern fried food and stuff the other day, wasn't there? He was. There was something the other day about shooting turkeys and things. So it's definitely that he ain't from Manhattan, I think.
Is that a euphemism or
shoot a turkey? I don't know. I can't keep up with this American slang all the time. Between the
Yeah.
RFI guys and we're getting outnumbered again. The North Americans, the Europeans, we open a podcast to try and keep up, and our colonial ancestors decide to start another podcast. So it's about time
Oh.
Europe kicked up another podcast. I think there was a call for a German heresy podcast, wasn't there? The Horus Boys.
Bloody colonial upstarts. I don't know.
Yeah, come on. We may no longer be in the EU, but we need some more European podcasts coming. I know there seems like there's quite a big scene in Scandinavia going, isn't there? I mean, the Swedish guys seem to be at events every weekend. Freddie's been sending loads of pictures from Scandus today, hasn't he?
The setup looks amazing. I wish I was there tomorrow. It's going to be good to follow over the weekend.
Oh, those pictures, they look like heaven. It looked like a gaming room heaven. Loads of tables, loads of space, matte, beautiful terrain that doesn't just stand out as like weird coloured terrain on a completely
green board.
Converse board. Yeah, it just all matches. It looks like Gothic ruins and wastelands, and it looked cool.
Really nice looking venue as well, isn't it? Nice and clean and well lit. Have you
Yeah,
seen
well,
did you see the video
posters,
from Jens and Linus from Northern Heresy as well? They released a video today when they were at dinner, like a pre-chat. I didn't watch it all. It was about 25 minutes, but it looked like they were settling down to Facebook Live. I think it might be up on one of their YouTube channels as well, but it looked like a romantic dinner for two.
They were digging into some European-sized beers, weren't they? Yeah, some serious beers.
I didn't know that was included in the price. I would have gone along for a nice included a date night.
Freddie has got some serious beers going there, wouldn't there? For every picture of amazing tables there were like 3 pictures of Freddie's boot full of beer. So it sounds like it's going to be a good party at Scandus this weekend. And,
party at Scandus.
And they're going to finish all that awesome weekend off with giving away a Warlord Titan as well, which is pretty fucking mental, quite frankly. That's pretty awesome.
Well, they say that. I still think it's a big pyramid scheme.
When Freddie pulls out a ticket and goes, "Oh, I've won! It's brilliant!"
It just runs out the back door with it under one arm, with like thousands of like fat, lazy people chasing after him, out of breath and drunk, where he's fed them with all like food and beer.
Yeah,
come back, my warhound.
To be fair, Freddie executes a military-style exit with a snatch and grab van arranged by Chris to escape with all the beer and all the warlords.
When you said that, I pictured more like a Scooby-Doo van. When they all run and jump in the van and then just like, get out of here, Wilma, and they go and drive off.
So not the mystery machine, the Vangarian machine.
Yeah, that's probably more like it rather than a military maneuver. I don't imagine like an APC turning up and him running into it with a warlord under his arm.
I can see Chris in the driving seat and Jody hanging out the back going, "Come on, man!
Catch up, you can do it."
Freddie's running up an alleyway with a warlord under one arm.
Oh no.
So yeah, if you're at Scandus, you want to go outside and just deflate the tyres on Chris's van. That might be the safest thing to do this weekend.
Keep that warlord safe.
Nice. So yeah, anyway, we've talked about Sweden for a long time, and that was our way of saying hello, Jake, and welcome to the podcast community. There's nothing like a good sidetrack, is there? Cool. Should we get on to some listener shit then? We've been spammed with some stuff. A couple of messages in. We've had a message in following Nick's rather serial killer monologue about headhunters, which was quite cool. I will take this point to say, guys, give us a shout, send us a message if you want your list hammering and hammering to fuck. Send it in, and Nick will go through and tell you the percentage of every single unit in there. Stu will tell you how to paint them, and I will sit there and say it doesn't smell enough of Gorgonzola. So send us your list, send us your messages. We're on Facebook, we're on email. Send us some shit in. We do like to hear from you. So we had an email in from. Stu, you've done a really cracking job here, mate. You put the email in and not put the guy's name on it.
I didn't think was it. I'm losing my voice again.
All it says is Liquid O, which sounds like some kind of sex dungeon.
That sounds like a Metal Gear Solid, like Liquid Zero.
Yeah, so we've had a message from Liquid O.
Say it sexually. Liquid O.
Liquid.
That needs to be the intro to the show. That is sensual.
Yeah. You know what, Stu? We need to clip that out and we need to give it away as a free MP3 so everyone can have that on their phones. So,
ringtone.
Liquid
Oh, that's disgusting. That's wrong.
Let me
So
see if
our
I
good
can
friend-
find out who it's actually from.
Yeah, find us a name, Stu. But I'll read his message and you
We're
find.
trying to give you enough time. Look, we're waffling, trying to give you enough time to find the name, and you
Yeah.
still haven't found it. Come on.
I don't even remember pasting it in there, to be honest with you.
Well, then it
Was it the rules question? Was it the guy pointing out about the grenades? What was?
Yeah, it was
no?
about venom spheres, so it's probably you, Nick.
So I don't remember.
Oh shit! Oops.
Yeah, I don't remember pasting that in there.
Oh my god! Fuck's sake, Steve. You got one job. Come on.
Go and find. So I guess it's come off a forum then, because you only hang about on forums, Nick. Looking for.
Oh shit! Yeah. Let me have a look. Is it in this?
Yeah, it's not. I checked the email. It's definitely not from emails.
Yeah.
Is it in? Yeah, it probably was me.
I'll read the dude's email. So he said, I'm going to skip the praise at the beginning because we do appreciate it. We really do appreciate the praise, but it's like local radio DJs reading out their own please. But Liquid. Email to say, just a quick comment about your Headhunter review. Venom spears count as assault grenades, brackets frag, that grant hammer wrath. So when you're charging into terrain, you're not at initiative 1, which is handy, but as he says, doesn't help much. They're still pretty shit. The biggest problem he has with them is if they get into range to utilise their special bolters, they can't charge afterwards, which wastes their other equipment. I think to fix them, they need 2 attacks base. They don't get an extra attack for 2 close weapons because Power Dagger's a specialist. And it's have Relentless. This would allow them to use all their equipment in the same term, take advantage of being able to take Dread Claws as dedicated transports. I don't think it made them OP as bolters are only proc on 6. I don't know. Something on 6. And in close combat, they're only strength 3. But
yeah, so he's saying that, the final bit there is just saying that obviously the Bane Strike ammo only procs. Proc is like a really old term from like MUDs and shit originally. I can't remember what actually. Does that stand for process or proceed or something? It basically means it happens on, like say procs on a 6. And then that makes it AP3. And then obviously he's saying with the Relentless because they're so you'd be able to move and shoot
and
make use of the bolt and to be able to charge. If you gave him 2 attacks base, it'd actually mean that there's a chance because they're only wounded on 5.
3 attacks on the charge, so
gives them an extra wound. Yeah, that would actually that would make him a little bit better. I still don't think they'd be worth the points, but it would definitely make them.
Yeah, I think you'd look at it and say, if I wanted to field them, then I'll take the hit on them not being great because they're okay. It makes them a bit more better.
Definitely.
But yeah, I mean, I think he hit the nail on the head with saying, if you get them into range to use the bolters, you can't charge. So you're compromising half your equipment either way. You're either not getting your shooting attacks, not making the benefit of your shooting attacks to get the charge, or you're using your shooting attacks, not getting your benefits to charge. So
yeah, totally agree. It was a little balance, like we were saying, or I was saying. Stuart joined in a bit at the end. That it was about that balance. They were trying to make them. They were trying to represent that being an elite unit, being good at everything.
Yeah.
And then giving it a high points cost, and they still didn't quite do it. So that would actually balance it out a little bit. And just going back to the mistake I made with the not having assault grenades, that was a big mix-up. And the more I think about that, the more it does balance them out in combat compared to Seekers.
Yeah.
Seekers are now, since the changes with the FAQ, also the changes in the new Red Book, Black Book, whatever it was that came out, Seekers really are a bit shit in combat. So I think that does balance it out quite a lot, actually, that they have their venom spheres. So thank you for pointing that out. Who was it again, Tom? What was the guy's name?
Liquid. I'm sure that was an advert on late night telly when I was a teenager, when I used to sit up and watch Emmanuel films.
I don't want to know any more about that. Thank you.
No, that was definitely, you'd ring up and, do you want to speak to Liquid? Oh.
Yes, please.
Yes, please. But anyway, Nick, did you find the dude's real name so I don't just keep making dirty sexual remarks about his username?
I can do it right now while you carry on talking about the next section. Classy Radio.
Classy Radio. Well, anyway, we'll try and get a shout out to him in a second. But yeah, you've definitely had your username spammed. So, shall we move on to the little bit of, minor news that's come out today? No?
Minor news? What?
You're not bothered about this minor news that's come out? Fucking Prospero got bollockly spoiled.
Oh, release the hounds.
Release the hounds. So yeah, I mean, we normally move into this section that says, is there anything new from Forge World or GW we're excited about? And it just says in fucking bold letters,
A landing platform.
Prospero.
They released a landing platform, I heard, guys, and some deco sheets. I heard they released some decals.
To be fair, the decals are fucking lovely. I do love the Forge World.
They are. The transfer sheets are quite nice as well.
Yeah, the water slide transfers.
They're quite sexy as well. Yeah.
They've been pretty nice. The Aquila Lander pad with the world's longest name is cool. I like it. It's not cool enough to buy it for the price, but I think if you've invested in a Forge World Realm of Battle Tiles sort of table, it's a cool addition. But that's cool. And the Stormbird dropped, hasn't it? That's come out, and I've seen a few starting to be painted up. As a
I actually really, really like that now. I wasn't mad keen on the whole keeping the bulkiness, the kind of carrying over the same stylization that they had from Thunderhawk kind of world. Everybody was saying, oh, in all the books it sounds sleeker and it sounds more like a slim, sleek cruiser, smooth hold, rounded hold cruiser from other sort of sci-fi realms. But the more I see it, the more I just think it does look a lot sleeker. But it still keeps the same bulky, slabby look. It retains that. So,
I mean, if you've ever done product development in manufacturing, you know that things come in evolutions. So the Thunderhawk is an evolution of the Stormbird. So they're not going to be radically different. They're going to have similarities in their design. So the Stormbird is sleeker than the Thunderhawk, but it's not a million times different to the Thunderhawk because they share an evolutionary pattern. So to say the Stormbird should look a million times different to the Thunderhawk is not really right. They're going to share a certain design traits and elements, and the Stormbird is a more sleeker version of a Thunderhawk, but it shares some design. What's the word I'm looking for? Because they were talking about this in the latest White Dwarf. Design, language, vocabulary. They share certain elements of it. So I really like the Stormbird. I'm probably, if I had the money, I'd probably still buy a Mastodon because.
Do you want to know? Oh yeah. Do you want to know the only thing that's stopping me, honestly, thinking about saving up to buy it?
What's that?
And that is the fact it's about 100 points too much. I think is it 850 base, which means you can't fit it into a 3K game.
It's 700 base.
Oh.
But no, it might be more. By the time you put the upgrades on it that you want, like the D bomb clusters and stuff, it's over 1,000 points.
Okay, so I was trying to find a
Let me load up
a flyer, a flyer, like a Lord of War flyer, to go into my White Scars list at 3K, and basically everything was either shit or too big or too many points or like a fun. There's no point taking a transporter if I haven't got anything to transport, and there's no point taking a Thunderhawk really without giving it a bigger gun, and there's no point taking a Stormbird without all the upgrades, as you just said. But then that then pushes it over way too many points.
I know. Loaded up as you want it, it's about 1,000 points, but
yeah, I don't want to. At 3K, I don't want to drop that much into one. As awesome and a big centerpiece as it would be, I don't see. It's the sort of thing I imagine playing in what I'd call an APOC game. Like if we were still playing an APOC version of 30K, we're talking about bring all your big toys. Everybody brings everything they've got. Everyone brings all the Titans, and we smash each other about. In that sort of game, I'd bring it. But we have like one game of that a year. I mean, we have the one like APOC game at Christmas or whatever. I don't. I can't justify buying that.
Same reason I go for a Mastodon over it, because you can play a 3K game. The chances of getting a chance to run it sort of puts me off it. Here we are. You're right. Snowcast Pattern Stormbird, 850 points base.
Yeah.
Then you're gonna want to take the bomb payload cluster, which is 50, so that's 900. And then you're going to want to take the orbital strikes, 150 points. So there's your 1,000 points.
So if it was usable at 750, if the base cost at 750, and it had a roll, that would be awesome.
Yeah, but it's definitely a centerpiece. If you're going to build, you're building something to, really show off with. It's awesome. But I'd love one, and it's not saying I wouldn't buy one if I had the money. It's just saying, being logical and sensible about purchasing, there are other things I'd buy over it first to make my army up with.
Yeah, it's in that Titan bracket, isn't it? In terms of cost and in terms of how often you're going to get to use it and
deployability.
Yeah.
So exactly. the other thing I didn't realise till the other day, when you take the orbital strikes for 150 points, I for some reason just thought they were a one-off. They're not. They're constant. Every time it gets to fire a massive blast, strength D AP1 fucking shot every turn. That's insane. It's absolutely nuts. Awesome. And I mean the bomb clusters are strength 8 AP3, bomb 1, sunder, apocalyptic barrage, 3d6.
What?
3d6.
No, it's not. You're making that up.
I'm looking at it now.
It can't be. That's nonsense.
That is. Oh, I see your Iron Warriors gun line with all your infantry in there. Just fucking pack it up and take it home, guys. But it's time.
That's ridiculous. What's the event we're going to in the new year? That's like 3k points.
Escalation, where they're allowing Leviathan, where you could just take.
What the fuck? I've changed my mind completely. I'm gonna buy a Stormbird. I'm gonna drop 500 points of my White Scars list, and I'm gonna take 2k White Scars plus a Stormbird. That would be insane. Just fly around nuking everything.
Have you just given away your secret project?
No, that's my. Oh my god! I've got 1 million jet bikes to build, and it's going to take me a year project.
Okay.
Yeah, the Stormbird is absolute batshit insane, which is what you want from it, isn't it? Let's face it.
That's pretty cool. I might change my mind now. I might start saving. Yeah. Anyway, there's more interesting things. What else came out?
So we had a little spoiler early in the week, didn't we? With what looks like a trade press release for the trade information for Prospero.
Wait, no. Let's. Sorry, we need to do this properly and in order. We need to be professional. We haven't covered the Amsterdam Open.
Oh shit! Yeah. Let's face it.
Let's do that first, shall we?
Yeah, let's
start off with. I was going to say start off with Russ. Start with Russ, or does that lead into the secret of the show that we've just given away 50 times?
I've said about 8 times that I'm excited as fuck for Prospero. So
it might be the show title as well. We might.
Oh, okay. We haven't really. All right, it's not really secret then. So let's go. All right. Let's look at Russ then. So I just sent you both pictures on Facebook. Are you both able to pick that up and have a quick look?
Oh, from Battle Bunnies.
Yeah, so for people who want to play along at home, if you go to your browser, interwebs browser of choice, and go to your search engine of choice, and Google Battle Bunnies, that is Battle Bunnies Blogspot. They have amazing. Not Rampant Rabbits Blogspot. That's a lot more exciting and probably not child friendly. Battle Bunnies Blogspot has loads of amazing coverage of everything 30k all the time, and it's one of my go-to sites. They have some amazing pictures and stills from videos and releases and photos. So you guys should both be looking hopefully at the Russ release now.
Yeah. I'm looking at the Russ unboxing.
Yeah. So I mean, just the front picture is the one that we saw released. So we first saw this guy back when the three of us went to the
I think
Open
it was
Day.
No, they previewed him at the February
Before
Open Day, didn't they?
Yeah,
they were
like
working
head and shoulders, wasn't it?
It's just his head and shoulder, wasn't it?
Did we see the full model? I don't think we saw the full model, did we?
No.
Did we?
No.
Oh.
I don't think it was long after that there were pictures, but
okay. Oh, you're right, because I was getting excited about the decals and the Thousand Suns stuff. Yeah, no, you're right. It wasn't. Oh well. Anyway, fast forward to Amsterdam Open Day thing, and no, it wasn't just everybody being high, as you'd expect. They did actually launch Russ, the Primarch, the Executioner,
Wolf King.
Yeah, so I wasn't sure if it was him, so I did a quick check just to go through my checklist and make sure. So again, if you're following at home, if there's any doubt, we'll just confirm now it is Russ. Not just because it says it on the box, but because he has a wolf pelt on his crutch. He has a wolf on one nipple. He has a wolf on his belt. He has not 2, but 4 wolf heads on his backpack. just in case you ever ran out, there's double the normal wolf heads on his backpack. He's got 1 on his leg. He's got 1 on his shoulder pad. He's got a wolf pelt cloak. He's got a wolf pelt on his axe kind of bit. He's got a wolf on his shield. He's got a wolf on one of his scabbards somewhere. He's got a wolf on his sword. He's got wolf heads on his axe. And he's probably got a wolf stuffed down his pants. But just to be sure, I think that's enough wolf. Do you guys think that's enough wolf?
What I want to know is why hasn't he got a beard?
Because he's not a hipster faggot, and he doesn't. No. Honestly, I'm one of the few people, based on all the internet rage, that I never ever envisaged him with a beard ever.
No, to be honest, I never have as well.
As a kid, there's that shit little
I had that model.
Pro Trader. Yeah. I that model of him with his 2 wolves.
He didn't have a
beard.
beard.
I was like, no, he never had a beard. His colour of his hair changed. Sometimes, you saw him in a White Dwarf and he had blonde hair. Sometimes he had he was a soulless ginger. Sometimes he people paint his hair pink or like you usually do. But I never ever in any art or any book or anything ever saw any reference to him having a beard or facial hair at all. To
be fair, my wife changes her hair about every colour of her hair.
They change their beard every. Oh, right, her hair. Sorry.
So there's absolutely no. I've got no objection with the hair changing, but I mean, I don't know. I can't expressly remember if it's ever really described in any of the books of him having a beard. I mean, I'm sure somebody out there will send me some long email telling me I'm a tosser and I've missed it.
I've never seen it, never read.
But
no recollection ever.
I read Thousand Suns and wherever he's popped up, it just hasn't hit me that he had a beard. I mean, if you actually look into Viking culture and you look at the Vikings programs on history, the really popular Viking series, none of them really seem to have beards. It doesn't seem to be a thing.
I wouldn't use that as a historical reference, probably, that program.
No.
But
if it's on TV, it's 100% true. That's how I've lived my life. And anybody that tells me that Game of Thrones is not historically accurate, I will piss on their picture.
Have either of you seen? I think I mentioned it to you before, actually, Tom. The Bernard Cornwell's Last Kingdom?
Yeah,
they made a TV show.
I read all the books, so I've watched it. I thought
they all had beards. Therefore, historically accurate. Yeah. Remember, they're not Space Wolves. They're Space Vikings.
Vikings.
I hope, without being, without detriment to his family, there are benefits available. I hope they sacked the sculptor after this.
You really don't like it? That bad?
No, just the idea of just like winding up. He hasn't got a beard. Here's your P45. Get the fuck out.
I was gonna say, I really fucking like the sculpt, and I was about to take you down to Chinatown on why the sculpt is pretty good.
To get me a knockoff. Oh right, sorry.
get you
knockoff from another Primarch instead. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love the vision of like a bearded fat hipster guy in charge of like. We all know they don't have quality control, but in control, like quality control of some description there, and this sexy artist chick goes in and she's like, yeah, no, I've made Russ, and like puts it on the desk, and the guy just like picks it up with his big sweaty hand and turns it around a bit, looks at it, and it's like, where the fuck's the beard? And they're just like, oh god, what is the world coming to? But I honestly I love it. I think it's awesome. it's the most kind of suitable to all situations. It doesn't look like he's doing too much of a kind of salute or too much of a pose. He doesn't look too kind of combat. He's not deeply intense in the middle of like some action. He's fluid and he's kind of moving. What did somebody say? Someone's not proud. Someone said he's on the hunt, and I read that.
Yeah,
that's
a really good way to describe it.
He looks like he might have just chopped someone in half, but he's now bang. He's on the go. He's looking. He's hunting. Who's next? And that will fit. As you can have that as a scenic piece. It looks great. Some people complain about the base. I think it's perfectly iconic. He has crushed Prospero. Like, he doesn't get much more iconic than that. The rubble of Prospero is pretty good.
I think when Magnus comes out, I am holding my hands up and saying I think it'll be a dual. It'll work together. The two things will work together. And Russ looks good now, but when he's up against the Magnus sculpt, I think the two of them will just look fucking perfect, and it will look brilliant. That's what I'm holding on for. And I probably will buy both of them if the scenic bases tie up, and I will paint that because I just think it will look.
So the only way I see that working is if it's if you look at the picture, I think it's the first picture of the front of the packaging from today. The only way that works is if the Magnus part of the diorama sits behind him, and basically he's just run past Magnus and chopped him in half. Like if Magnus is in half midair behind him, and Russ has just gone fuck off as he runs past and just like chopped him in half, and now he's going to look for more of a challenge.
Magnus is supposed to be arrogant, and I can see Magnus standing there, sort of waiting for the challenge to come, and sort of because he gets all mopey and emo, doesn't he, when he gets his ass kicked because the Emperor's bollocked him basically.
Oh, I love Daddy, really. Why didn't he love me? I only tried to help.
Told him to go and sit on the stairs for 5 minutes on the naughty step, and he's all depressio. So I can see Magnus sort of standing there waiting for the charge, waiting for him to come, kind of very static as to Gilliman, as to Russ's kind of more aggressive, actiony pose. Does that make sense?
I don't think they could have done it any other way. Like I think if you made it too much of a it works for Gilliman. It works for him because he's got a statesman commanding pose. But you could not have done Russ in a like eating his breakfast or like signing off a requisition form or something. Like yeah, good idea. Send 20 of those guys to massacre that guy. That's a good idea. Yeah, I'll sign that off. Like that, I don't think that would have worked. But I think I'd say it's easily in my top 3 Primarchs. I think it's well up there. It's really, really cool.
Yeah, he's pretty badass, isn't he? Let's face it. Cool. Does that lead us into what we should probably talk about now then?
What you mean?
One
the
last
40k
thing.
Magnus sculpt?
Oh yeah, that's badass, isn't it?
I was gonna say, did you look at the weapons again for the people following along at home? If you scroll down the page, it's got Battle Bunny's a close up of the weapons. Bale Knight and Hellwinter, and they are both awesome. Followers of the Fluff, Space Wolf fans, Vulca Fenrica fans. There's going to be a big follow-up story, apparently about the Demon Blade. I really do hope that it's not that he becomes the next Death Knight or whatever the fuck from World of Warcraft, because apparently that looks exactly like the sword.
Yeah, Chris
Arthas has.
Chris was making those comments straight away, wouldn't he, about it's World of Warcraft.
Oh, he's got Arthas' sword, and oh, fuck off back to Azeroth. I'm joking.
Get back to your computer.
Go.
To be fair, Chris is a student. All he does is build Warhound Titans and play video games. So
his stuff looks so cool. Again, he's another guy that's got time to do hobby, and I sit there and I'm like, oh, what's everyone else been doing? And there's all these amazing pictures, and I'm like, you bastard, you've had loads of awesome time to build stuff I haven't had, and I'm really jealous.
Yeah, no, his stuff does look awesome. To be fair, I think the whole Scanders thing this weekend, there's going to be some very sexy looking models there. Sweet. I think what we're going to do is take a little 5 minutes here, maybe throw a little music in. Stu might just cut me out completely. But we're going to take a break because the thing we need to talk about next is probably going to boil over into a little bit, isn't it? So
How?
let's throw in the Incom advert here, and you can talk to our Incom guys. With this box launching, there may be a little second episode from us very quickly afterwards with some exciting deals. I'm currently selling my soul to Chip's corporate heaven to basically get you guys, hopefully, one of the best deals on this box set we can get in the country. So we're going to take a short break. Let's throw our Incom advert in there. There may well be a deal in there, but we'll see what happens. So, yeah, we'll catch up with you in a few minutes, guys, when we talk Prospero.
G52 is sponsored by Incom Gaming, the new centre for tabletop wargaming in Gloucestershire. Visit incomgaming.co.uk for great savings on pre-orders and all your hobby needs. We stock many gaming systems and hobby accessories and can ship to anywhere in the UK. Incom Gaming is the only UK stockists of the market-leading gaming mats from gamemats.eu. Visit the store and check out how to turn your tabletop into a battlefield. Incom Gaming is based in the centre of Cheltenham and offers tables and scenery for casual and organised play with a fully licensed bar. Check out our events page for upcoming events where everyone is welcome. Save an additional 10% on Games Workshop Heresy products by using the code GINO52 at the checkout. Visit incomgaming.co.uk and help fight the betrayal. Incom Gaming. Come game, shop, drink. To shop elsewhere is heresy.
So I suppose we probably should get onto this thing that we've been alluding to all show so far, haven't we? There was this little thing that dropped early. When did we get the first rumor? It was first thing this morning, wasn't it? That they actually, it looked like the press release, not the press release. It looked like the information's for all the third party sellers, didn't it? On detailing what is in the new Prospero box. So Nick's going to turn around and go, I fucking told you it was the 22nd, and I fucking told you it'd be Prospero. So yeah, Nick, you were pretty much bang on for the money all year about this. So Prospero's dropped. We're going to get Mark IIIs. We're going to get Tartarus pattern Terminators.
It's a Photoshop. Don't believe it. It's Photoshop.
What, even the video on Warhammer TV? That's another
Fake.
truth, is it?
Fake. I've seen enough Photoshops in my time. I can see the blurry pixels.
Yeah.
Fake.
Do you know what used to be my favourite game on YouTube? Go onto videos of cats yawning and just type the comment fake and just see people go nuts. It could be a fake. It's a cat yawning. Yeah, it's a fake, mate. It's fake.
Fake. Photoshop.
Photoshop's fake. You could tell I had a lot to do when I was a student, didn't you?
What? So hang on a minute. You watch videos of cats yawning, and then just put fake. Is this a thing?
There's video. Go onto YouTube.
You can get a degree in it. You can get a degree in anything.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go onto YouTube and search videos of what? How do you even start doing
yawning. There's a whole thing online for cats yawning.
God, right.
And honestly, YouTube, just type in 3 random words and you will get a video.
Your family rejoiced when you got back into wargaming. At least she's got rid of that fucking awful hobby of watching cats yawning.
I became normal when I started playing with Practical Soldiers.
I must try and explain that to your therapist. What the fuck?
Anyway, sorry about that, but I just had to say something. I was just, yeah.
But if you want to make it even worse, type fake in the comments. Just give them the comment that says fake, and people just go fucking ballistic. They're just like, no, it's not fake. It's cats yawning. How can it be fake? And you're just like, yeah, it's a fake, mate. It's Photoshop. And people, they just
shopped.
Shopped. And people just go fucking batshit. There you go. I've sent you a link to my favourite cats yawning video. I have a favourite.
Have you sent that already?
Your favourite? You have a favourite?
Yeah, listeners, he has actually sent a link. That was obviously at hand in favourites. Oh my god.
Cats yawning. Funny cats yawning videos. What is not to like about funny cats yawning? Let's face it, between that side of my browser searches and the other side of my browser searches, be glad I sent you cats yawning. So yeah, where did we get to? We got Tartarus Terminators coming. We've got Araman coming. Now, this is something I want to talk about. Araman is not part of the character series. Because a lot of the rumours, when people in the plastic sprue drop, people went, no, it can't be Araman. Araman would be part of the Resin Forge World.
No, it can't be Araman.
No, it says it on the friggin'. It's
no
Photoshop.
There's no way. There's no way the Forge World would let GW do Araman. He's too big of a character. He's too fundamental to the Thousand Suns mythos for GW to let Forge World, who are the same fucking company, to produce the model. No way they let him do it. No way. Sorry.
Who do we know outside of Araman and Magnus? Who has got a central role in that Legion? None of them. It just with Sevatar and Typhus and Sigismund. That's the only thing I don't understand. It looks cool. I'll give it to him. It's a nice looking model.
It's like right up until even a few weeks ago or however long, I've lost track of all these hilarious videos they've started putting out, the guys at Forge World. It's so good.
Oh, the Warhammer TV guys.
They're I forgot their names. I feel so bad. I watched them on the Twitch stream when the Age of Sigmar event, and they did a really good job. And they've also done all those like kind of leak videos, and they're so funny. But they came out and they're like, oh, an Araman sprue, you don't want to look at that or whatever.
Look at Khan.
Yeah, his Khan, and they're like, whoa, look at Khan. But like, they even confirmed it was Araman or whatever. Oh no, did they say it was a Thousand Sun Sorcerer? Right, Thousand Sun Sorcerer. Okay, fair enough.
The interesting thing is, this is again what interests me about this is the Araman is Araman, but the Space Wolf character is
not Bjorn,
but it's still the fell-handed.
Not Bjorn. He looks exactly the same.
Yeah,
he's got the same hand missing with a replacement. He's got the same history. He lost his hand in the same way. His mum and dad's name are the same. He likes his favourite colours the same.
His social security number is one different.
His same postal address. He went to the same primary school. But it's not. No, it's not. It's not Bjorn the Fell-Handed.
Yeah.
It's fucking Sveggy the Wolf Johnson or whatever the fuck his name is. What is his name?
It's something fell-handed. It literally.
No.
It is. It's whatever fell-handed. It's like I want to say Grolgor, but I've been listening to Flight of the Eisenstein today, and that's not it. I smashed the trilogy of the first 3 audiobooks, and that was fucking
nice.
Weird. And I'm on to Flight of the Eisenstein now.
Grigor Fell-Hand.
Grigor the Fell-Hand. Not Bjorn.
No, when you look at things and you think, I don't know, just.
Do you think they did a compromise? Do you think they basically said, like GW said, turn around and said, right, we don't have a box. Am I going to steal this? Am I going to do Araman and Bjorn? And they were like,
the guys, we're having
the sculptors
Bjorn.
Like crawled on the floor crying, and they were hanging onto GW's legs, going, please let us have one. Just one, Araman or Bjorn, just one. Be fair.
It may well have been something like that.
You can't take sisters and custodes and Bjorn and Araman.
It's all about 40k, isn't it? Because I don't play 40k. Has Araman got rules in 40k?
Yeah, you can take the Araman model is 40k, and Bjorn in 40k is a fucking box dread. The hero of.
Oh, he's a badass dread though. That new model is.
But the hero, one of the only man left standing from when Primarchs ran the galaxy, is a fucking box dread.
He's the oldest surviving Space Marine.
But is the 40k Araman still like that, or has he changed loads?
He's got a few more. He's got a few more witchy poo spikes coming out of his head and shit like that. But I mean, if it was up to me and I was playing Thousand Suns in 40k, I'd just ditch it straight away and I'd use that model. I just wouldn't.
Well, that's what I'm getting at. Are they aiming it to be used like that, or is it? Or is he supposed to be different?
The 30k model looks exactly like the 30k artwork of Araman.
Yeah.
If you look at the 30k artwork of Araman, it looks exactly like that. It doesn't look like the 40k one. So people are going, it doesn't make any sense. Well, no, it does. It looks exactly like Araman in 30k.
But are they trying to kickstart some Thousand Suns 40k stuff? Or we've obviously seen the plastic 40k Magnus, haven't we? So is there going to be a Thousand Suns 40k release? And they're trying to make sure that this game obviously gives them loads of sales. It supports 30k, but it also then links with whatever Thousand Suns release that maybe comes in the new year. Are we going to see it on a mini Thousand Suns codex or something like that? I just think
Yeah, well,
I think there's
that's
that kind of element to it rather than a kind of, that at the end of the day, 412 will do what they tell them to, and I'm sure there have been discussions.
So
we
this is
need
all linked
this one.
into the big wider discussion around the end times in 40k.
Yeah, I
So
suppose so.
as of right now, spoilers for anyone that gives a fuck about the current 40k universe. It is awesome, but the whole campaign that's set around Fenris currently, and they've had 2 campaign books, and I think they're bringing out a third one. No, they're definitely bringing out a third one. And they've released they brought back the Wolfen. We assume they're going to bring back Russ. They've now released Magnus, the 40k Demon Prince model. That's all linked into basically the Thousand Suns Magnus trying to get revenge on the Space Wolves. So it's a very Zinchian ploy. They basically tricked the Dark Angels into thinking that the Space Wolves are all mutating and are all turned into like demon wolfy wolves really quickly. And some of I can't remember what else they tricked them, but basically Zinchian, you think it's just Zinch / Thousand Suns have tricked Dark Angels into also thinking. I think the Space Wolves have got captured one of the Fallen as well, or something like that. They've also tricked the Inquisition into thinking that. So the Inquisition, some of the Imperial Navy and Dark Angels have all been bombing the shit out of Fenris and killing the Space Wolves. And the Space Wolves are like, are you fucking insane? We're on your side. And they're all like, heretic, mutant, blah, blah, blah. And now shit's got real because loads of Zinch demons have turned up as well. And I guess in the next book, because we've seen the Magnus Demon Prince model, that means the Thousand Suns are turning up. So it makes perfect sense that I agree with what you're saying, Stu. It makes perfect sense with the crossover into potential 40k Thousand Suns models as well.
Yeah, because isn't it, if someone was saying to me, if you look at the because obviously GWTV for Warhammer TV released a video announcing him, but the spoiler during the day was the picture of Magnus in his box, and it's the way the box was set up. It says Thousand Suns and then Demon Primarch Magnus the Red, and that top line is usually where they'd put Space Marine or Tau or Dick Suckers, whatever the latest army is. So a lot of people are saying that looks like the legions are coming back to 40k. You'll have a Thousand Suns army, a World Eaters army. You'll have.
I think they definitely do. I think they're definitely going to do the Chaos. Yeah. Because they've released all. They haven't redone the Chaos Codex. They've released supplements for all of the sub factions.
Yeah.
They've re-released those, and they got the new Crimson Fists one, or the updated. Not Crimson Fists. Oh my god, I'm going off on one. What are the Chaos? Oh my god, I'm drawing a blank. What are there's so many fists and so much blood. They all sound the same.
I'll blood your fist in.
The Chaos fisting guys, the guys that go and fist people to death. What the fuck are they called? Oh my god!
Iron Warriors.
Oh, it's the Chaos supplement. That's like, oh my god! I'm gonna have to actually start googling shit in a minute.
Well, you got the Word Bearers, the World Eaters, the Thousand Suns, and the Iron Warriors.
No, that's my point. None of the main. They haven't done any of the main factions based on the Demon Alliance, and they haven't done any main faction based on Legion.
Yeah.
All they've done are the sub ones. They've got the Black Legion, and they've got the oh my god, what are they called? The other guys. There's basically
how Nick's been censored by the
Crimson Slaughter. Thank you, Crimson Slaughter. Got it. So there's Black Legion, Crimson Slaughter, and I think there's another one I've forgotten. And they cover all of the non-aligned ones, and they cover the sub-factions and the pirates and the all those shit. But people are saying, why haven't they re-released the Codex, the Chaos Codex, the actual Codex? And the reason they haven't done that is because they're not going to redo it. I think they are just going to do, like you said, a
Legions book.
Yeah,
there'll be Legions books. You'll have the Black Legion book. You'll have the it might even actually might not be separate books. It'll be the Traitor Legions book. And you'll have army lists for Thousand Suns, World Eaters, Black Legion and Word Bearers and Iron Warriors, and I think they'll draw a lot of inspiration from Heresy because it's been really, really successful and really popular, and has shown how to write Space Marine armies in very different ways. Shown them and say, look, you can take the basic stat line, and by using things like Rite of Wars and the way you build your army, can create very different style armies.
It's got to be a balance between kind of the modern rule set they've gone for, whether that's a Rite of War or a formation, or probably multiple formations.
Yeah.
Legion rules / chapter tactics, but then all of that clearly has evolved from the older edition codexes that people loved. Like, is it the third ed one that everyone raves about?
3.5.
Yeah, so it's obviously evolved from that, but we all know how it would work. We all understand in our head, like, we've got the kind of common sense idea of how it would look. It basically would be Legion rules, but for Thousand Suns. So there's going to be some magic-y shit in there, sorcery stuff, bonuses to this, bonuses to that, Thousand Suns themed. Like, it's not rocket science. That's what it's going to be. I think what it really depends on is how they package it, and I think it is clear now that it's, like you said, it's going to be a Thousand Suns book, Thousand Suns. Well, it can't be a supplement because there's nothing to supplement. I think it would just be a new standalone, in the same way Chaos Demon King was.
Yeah,
it's got the reliance on maybe the core unit stats, but it is pretty much its own standalone book.
So what do you reckon Thousand Suns will get in 30k then? Let's get back to actually what we're supposed to talk about. How do you think that's going to work? Because there's been a lot of chatter about Brotherhood of Psychers. How are they going to deal with the mass increase of psychic powers? I mean, for me personally, I think they should be overwhelmingly powerful in the psychic phase, or pretty damn powerful in the psychic phase, but have quite strict limitations. You're only going to be able to take 1 or 2 heavy support. You're only going to be able to take maybe 2 troop units. So there's going to be quite heavy restrictions on the list to base around the fact that they're a small legion and their reliance is on psychic powers. Yes, you'll dominate in the psychic phase, but you're going to struggle elsewhere.
I think it's going to be a really...
sense, sorry, carry on.
No, I was just going to say, I think it's going to be a really hard balance between shifting a lot of the rules into the Legiones Astartes rules versus the Rites of War.
Yeah.
And we saw that with the Jagorian Brotherhood, with the White Scars and a couple of the other ones, that people were saying some of the rules went a bit too far one way or the other. Like, they have too many rules in the Legiones Astartes, and then they have too many that are in the Rites of War. So you're limited to, like, you have to take that Rites of War if you want to play the Legion as you think it should be played. Yeah. And I don't think Rites of War should do that. I think the Legion rules should do that. So I think the Legiones Astartes rules for the psychic, like, should be all the psychic shit, because that's their core thing. Do you kind of agree? Like, that should be their...
Yeah, that makes sense.
Their oomph. And then the Rites of War can do stuff like you can take 10 HQs as long as they're psychers. As long as they're librarian consoles, you can take 10 fucking HQs.
Yeah, but
and every attack squad becomes Brotherhood of the Psyker, and every, whatever. That should be where you can change the army-wide kind of stuff. But I think just the core Legiones Astartes, it has to be that psychic stuff. And I don't know how it would work.
Yeah, I mean, all Legiones Astartes, Thousand Suns, all troops
Adamantium
choices.
Will.
Yeah, they've all got Adamantium Will. All troops
so
units
a 10-point upgrade to a sergeant. They get Brotherhood of the Psyker. Or something.
Yeah. All troops choices. With the Legion Astartes, Thousand Suns rule for 10 points become a psych. Because how do they deal with it in Word Bearers? You have to pay to become a Dabalist, don't you? You have to, and you pay.
Yeah, I see them. I see that's being very different, because, like, I had a conversation with a chap at work that I play, the Conquest game with.
Yeah.
And he's a long time 40k fan. I've been trying to get him to play 30k for a while now, but he wants to play Word Bearers and he loves them. And we were talking about the difference between those and the Thousand Suns. And obviously, the Thousand Suns are fucking space wizards. Like, they are all space wizards. They are sorcerers. They are into the arcane arts. They are into fucking sigils and tarot and all that shit. But they're psykers. The word bearers are fucking cultists. They are bloodletting, sacrificial, fucking nut job psychic, like nut job cultists. They're completely different. Like, their way of doing things is they sacrifice stuff to the dark gods, and then demons appear, or they mutate themselves and turn into demons. That's completely different to the way the Thousand Suns work.
Party differently.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. They turn up completely differently. The Thousand Suns need to be much more like, and I think the way we end up seeing it is relatively a cut and paste from the way, not in a bad way, but from the way the Grey Knights play or played in 40k.
Lots elite units, expensive elite units, but with Brotherhood of the Psyker rules and inbuilt psychic powers into the units.
Yeah, I just hope there's a little bit more makes them unique, not just we already jumped straight to Adamantine Will, Brotherhood of the Psyker, etc.
Yeah,
you've got those default go-to sort of rules, but I think they can, and I hope they do add a bit more flavour and a bit more uniqueness.
Well, I think for the like you said, for the Legion of Starters rules, Brotherhood of the Psyker, Adamantine Will would make good Legion of Starters rules, and then the Rite of War could then really give that character to the way the army's built and the army plays, by creating a limited, more elite kind of force.
Yeah, I'm not madly up on the fluff outside of the Black Library novels on Thousand Suns. I've read a bit of the 40k stuff as well, but the way I understand it is they're very much into their own sects. So you've got like the pyro guys, you've got the electric guys, you've got the telekinetic guys, whatever. So you could obviously do you'd end up with, like, the same way that there's an issue with Dark Angels having 50 Rites of War, because they've got so many different ways of different wings. You got Dread Wing and Attack Wing and Death Wing and Ice Cream Wing and whatever. I
love the Ice Cream Wing.
Ice Cream Headache. Oh fuck. So Thousand Suns obviously the same. You're like, can they have 4 Rites of War or 5? Like, would they, or could you just fit that into one where it's like, choose one of these sects, and for X points your guys will get pyro. They get access to pyro skills.
But based on what you just said, can't you just give unit upgrades, like you say, to sergeants, and maybe give them a psychic attack for that unit, but then reduce the amount of special weapons, the weapons you can take in some units, so they can make a psychic attack that replaces a flame or a plasma, so you're getting a similar kind of balance on gameplay, but you're giving the flavour of it being psychic rather than someone wielding it as a ballistic weapon, if that makes sense. Could they do it that way?
The way I really like it, exactly on that point, I was going to come to the Navigator. Have either of you seen the rules for the Forge World Mini they released for the Navigator?
No. I have, but I can't remember them off the top of my head.
They don't actually follow the psychic phase rules for 40k. He doesn't have the rules that allow him to roll dice and generate psychic dice and whatever. Basically, he has I'm going to start making up things, but I think it's 3, maybe 4 rules, and at the start of each phase, like a movement phase, a shooting phase, he has a set ability that he can do in that phase, and it's a psychic effect, but I think some of them are affected by things like Adamantine Will and Deny the Witch and that sort of stuff, but he doesn't generate dice, and he doesn't have to use warp charge to do it. He basically, I think one of them is like roll a 4 up and it goes off, and it's like a psychic scream type ability with a flamer template, and basically he does wounds to people. So it's a shooting attack he can do in the shooting phase, but it's a psychic phase, and you don't have to roll against his ballistic skill. You don't have to roll psychic dice. You could easily carry that over, like Stuart just said, so you could choose, like in a Rite of War, say, I want the Pyromaniacs. Every sergeant you can pay 10 points, and he becomes a fucking sect leader of the Pyromaniac guys, whatever they're called. On top of the normal tactical squad rules, he now also gets a ability where on a 4 up he can use a flamer template, and it does I don't know, everyone hit underneath is a strength 6, AP3 hit, and it has that not conflagrate. That's bloody War Machine Hordes. What's the rule where they? No, the one where they're on fire and you have to take like a toughness test or whatever. Otherwise, you take another wound. Soul Blaze, yeah, that kind of thing. So like that's like he's on fire. Like, you've set them on fire with psychic energy. It's not a massive game-breaking thing, but instead of just being a attack squad, you're now attack squad where the sergeant can also go fuck you and just flame everybody. I think that's quite cool. Or instead of being a pyromaniac sect, you can choose a different one, and it might be a defensive ability where everybody gets, I don't know, +1 to their cover save in the open if it goes off or something. It doesn't have to be crazy psychic stuff in the way that we know the psychic phase within the game. Because like you said, it's going to be such a jump from basically nobody having psychic powers or very few people bothering to take librarians, bother to be a cheesy fuck and run on invisibility or whatever else.
Yeah.
And then suddenly everybody's like, you're suddenly against an army where every unit has 50 psychic dice, and it's going to be a real jump if that's the case.
Yeah, I mean, they've got to dominate the psychic phase, or however the psychic abilities are brought in. It's got to be their real bonus, because that's what they are. That's where their power is. But it's what you don't want is suddenly people going, well, I can't deal with 1,000 Suns because no matter what I do, they just fucking rickroll me in the fucking psychic phase. Roll me up. It's like playing Eldar again.
Or even worse, everyone has to take the same thing to deal with them, so all armies get the same. So what if the sisters can be taken by all good legions, and then they're the only way to balance this? That you don't want that to be kind of a cookie cutter list thing.
Why, in a way, it may end up being that if it does, and that's going to come down to another social contract thing. There is nothing that stops you right now from picking. I'm going to say 3 librarians. Are librarians support HQ, or can they be?
They're support. So so
you have 2 then, yeah.
Yeah, depending on HQ on Right of War, you'd have to take 2.
So right now you can take 2. You get 2d6. You get 2 warp charges per HQ plus 1d6.
For them, yeah.
Well, yeah, okay, yeah. I mean, you're not going to take them and not upgrade them unless you're really crazy. So you get 2 warp charge, 4 warp charge plus your d6, say a 3. So you're going to get roughly 6 to 7 dice. That's enough to get like maybe 2 warp charge 2 spells off if you're lucky. That's not crazy, but it can mean that you just made a unit invis and completely change the game. Like if you've got 2 Death Stars going up against each other and one of them is invis and one of them's not, then one of them's going to get horribly smashed. Like it is game changing. The difference between that being like on one spell on one unit to if they make them too much like Grey Knights and everybody's generating psychic dice and you can have multiple people casting actual warp charge, actual psychic spells as they exist currently, that is too much of a paradigm shift. That is too much.
What do you reckon to Forge World saying, screw the psychic powers from the rulebook as is now, and giving the 1,000 Suns their own sort of psychic school of powers? They could generate shitloads of warp charges, but their powers aren't quite so insane as here, pick up that piece of terrain and move it the other side, or make your Death Star invisible and impossible to hit.
That would actually be really cool, because then again they could do it by like sect, or I'm gonna keep saying sect. Someone's probably gonna like inscribe a rune and send me a message through the warp or something, but I think I'm pretty sure they're called sects or something like that. But yeah, you could have that's how you could just play different ones. You choose one and they get access to certain I'll call them spells, certain powers, which would limit you from having that some of the ridiculous stuff that can go off. And when you start getting into the realm of like 15 warp charge dice, the world really is your oyster. Like it's bonkers. You don't need the rerolls. You don't need the crazy levels. You don't need many strikers. Just as soon as you start getting loads of dice, you can start doing stupid shit. And
yeah, I fucking remember playing your Eldar scat by fucking Seer Star Bomb. I've got 45 dice in this psychic phase. Oh, fuck off.
Oh, no. Can you?
I've got
how many dice? Can you deny this? No, because how many dice have you got? 2.
Like, 2, and I'm going to roll 6 this. Well, fuck it. I can't do anything. To be
Yeah,
fair, your
it's pretty
psychers
good.
used to do a good job of killing themselves.
Yeah, fucking emo psychers.
I'm getting
Self-harm psychers.
war.
I was so salty and fed up with everyone complaining, so I was just like cutting myself and just getting sucked into the warp. I'm looking at these pictures again, and the green eyes on the paint jobs.
Green contrasting with the red is perfect. Green eye lenses are
Yeah.
paint job. Because I know JP and Mark, when they talked about painting Blood Angels, they were saying about avoiding, red and green because you don't want the Christmas tree look. And yeah, you mean there are some things there, but I think they had Miles on from Little Legends who was talking about it doesn't actually need to be that. And I'm looking at my Blood Angels army I painted for 40k, and I used all green eye lenses in their red helmets, and green and red they do contrast strongly, which is good. Yeah, if you put too much green on it, it does start to look like a frigging Christmas tree. But yeah, the green eye lenses on those Stars and Submarines. The only interesting thing I found is they've gone for a flat green colour. Flat green, fuck's sake, flat red colour. Rather than the metallic red.
Rather metallic, yeah.
It's a GW release though, isn't it? It's not using Forge World paints and things, so it's going to use GW colours.
I'm massively into, and I don't know if this is a popular opinion, but I'm massively into the metallic red scheme, the red clears over the silver pre-shading. I think it looks fucking wicked. I think I think the Marines they've shown today, the ones in the video and stuff, were really cool. I like the red, and they've done a nice job with it. But I just.
Are you looking at these pictures now? Have you got the link I sent through to the Battle Bunnies?
Yeah.
Again, for those at home, go to Battle Bunnies. It's probably like the third post. If not, it'll be in the tags on the side. He's got loads of stills from the video. So cool. In a way, though, I agree with you. I prefer the metallics. In a way, though, I think the Space Wolves actually win as far as paint jobs go in this. Like the shipping and the stuff on the armor is like it's really intricate and it looks really cool on the Mark III.
I think though it would be in a much visually better contrast to have the metallic red scheme against the matter grayer Space Wolves. I think the Space Wolves matte grey is perfect.
Yeah, definitely. It would stand out a bit more. I think it's probably what Stu said though is that. So were you saying, Stu, that they're using GW paints rather than Forge World paints?
I'm guessing so. It's a GW release, isn't it? It's not a Forge World release, so they'll use GW stuff, and I don't think they don't have the tools to do that.
Well,
paint scheme.
I've been on around the traps, heard thing that's saying that
insider info, wink wink.
Yeah, a lot of the Forge World paint schemes have been toned down a bit, and the GW paint schemes have been toned down from the heavy metal style to make them look more achievable.
Yeah,
I
think you said that
I think you mentioned more accessible. Yeah.
People pick up the magazine, see heavier painted models everywhere, and go, "Fuck, I'll never get to that level," and don't want to paint. Whereas if they see them like I'm actually tonight sitting here painting the Khorne models from the Age of Sigmar box for Chip at the club. I've said I'd potter on and get these done for him, and I'm just following Duncan's tutorial off that, and it's really easy to get a very good looking model. And I think that's what they're more into now, is producing ways of look, you can get a good painted army by following these steps. I know JP from the Age of Darkness has been doing the same for a buddy at his store. He's been painting the core models literally. I think he's been painting the Sigmarines literally as the tutorial, so the guy in his shop can say, look, if you buy this box, follow the YouTube video and just do what they say, you will get this at the end. And I like that, and I really do. But I mean, I'd love to see the metallic red. I think they'd just be so vibrant against the kind of flatter grey space wolves. I think it'd be a really nice one. I do love the Sisters of Silence armor though. That kind of beaten brass, dull brass look they've given the armor. That is sexy.
Jumping ahead a little bit, we haven't gone through the rest of the box contents and stuff, but yeah, they are my winner. They were always going to be my favorite. I got a thing for Sisters of Battle. I got a thing for Sisters of Silence. I love the whole ecclesiarchy and the assassins and the Inquisition, and I love all those cool little like subgroups and stuff. I'm really into those. So the sisters just look amazing. They look so badass. They are just, look at them, man. Like, just the armor is amazing. The sword, they've got huge swords. I'm so pleased they have got massive swords. They're not like sabers. They're not like katanas. They're not these little shitty things. Most of them have got fucking chunky, like
big broadswords.
Yeah, one of them's got like a broadsword. I'm like, that's as big as a Space Marine. What the fuck? They look amazing.
Yeah. They've done I mean, the custos are really nice. Custos are nice. They're cool. I like them. I'm stoked that there's plastic custos, but sisters just. I mean, I saw the video, I saw the sisters, and I pretty much ejaculated all over the place. They just went, yep, that's 95 quid for those 5 models would do me quite happily. Yep, fine, happy. You know, they're fucking brilliant. Let alone the fact I'm getting Mark III Marines to build my Breacher Force with. I'm getting custom.
So should we run through the box? Let's go back to the start. So yeah. we had leaks. We've had leaks for, I think the first one was actually over a year ago when we had rumors, Demon Primarchs for 40k. People were discussing the fact that they weren't going to do Forge World weren't going to do 30k Demon Primarchs because GW were doing them.
Yeah,
they're going to do normal resin Primarchs. After that, in the future, once they've released them all, who knows, they might go back and do them. But that was the rumor. Everyone was like, no, we're going to get, Demon Fulgrim. We'll also have to get Demon Angron. And people would say, no, GW are going to do them. Forge World are going to do the normal guys. The other rumor was Prospero. The rumor was Mark III, Sisters, Custos. There was loads of other stuff going around about different dreadnoughts being in there as well. But the core, Plastic Dorado was one, but it was Araman, Bjorn, Mark III, Custos, and Sisters, and that was the core thing for at least 9 months, if not more. And all this is going on and on, and for ages everyone's getting excited, and we're seeing and then the other boxes come out, and like, oh my god, and whatever. And now today, finally, we saw, as you said, the retail kind of sale pitch go out to all that, so they could stock it. And what have we got? What's the actual contents on here? Have you got the list of the contents?
So yeah, we got 2 characters. We got Araman and definitely not Bjorn the Fell-Handed. His brother Grolgor the Fell-Handed. Whose social security number is one different to Bjorn's. 30 Mark III Marines. 5 Tartarus Terminators, 5 Custodes, and 5 Sisters of Silence, which, quite frankly, is fucking badass.
That is a lot of nice stuff in a.
I've I sent Income Gaming a message and just went, shut up and take my money. Just fucking order me one. Don't ask, just order me one.
So again, I think that retail note says it's a 65% saving. So that's based on the fact that when they release the individual boxes, like they have now done for Calv, if you were to buy a box of 10 Tap Marines, a box of whatever, it would add up to X amount. So that's a lot. That's a big saving.
Because I can see the 5 Custo Guard box being like a £50-60 box set for 5 dudes, quite easily. So you're saving a fuckload just by buying the Custos that way.
How much is the Cadafatti box? Do you know?
I know. I think Chip's knocking them out for about 27 quid, which is 10% off retail. So 30 odd quid-ish.
So the Custos are definitely going to be at least 45 plus, if not closer to 50. I would have thought they're quite chunky.
Well, there's been some comparison pictures kicking around on the internet today, and I mean, they are like half a head to a head taller than a Space Marine.
So this brings us on to a really interesting point. I've had at least 5 discussions today with people about Custos or Custodes.
No, because
what do you say?
If they're as JP says, if they're Custodes, they're arse tardies. No, they're custodes and Astartes.
Custards.
Yeah, they're fucking custards.
Custards. Okay, so there's a massive range, right, in not just the Black Library books, but also in all the Forge World fluff. There is a huge range and huge contradiction between a guy who, and I think it's actually said the exact words were something like, he is to a space marine as a space marine is to a human. That's one way they've described them, right? So these guys are like, if you're talking about 50 humans to a space marine, I don't know, 100 humans, whatever you want to talk about, like that makes them pretty like insane. And then you've got the kind of usual plot devices where they need something to happen in a book. They need a space marine character to look badass, so he's somehow magically then able to beat like Garrow beats one in a duel cage or something, doesn't he?
Well, the thing is, I think the best description is in First Heretic, and where they spend a lot of time with the word bearers, and the way that describes them best is the Custodes are elite warriors. Individually, they are superlative warriors, whereas Astartes fight as a brotherhood, and they think it's described somewhere in First Heretic where they're fighting with the Custodes, and the Custodes fight amazingly, but they fight individually. They fight one. They are a solo warrior, whereas the Astartes fight best as a group. So one-on-one, a Custode will always take an Astartes, no problem. But a group of Astartes will probably take horrendous losses, but they should overwhelm an individual Custodes. But 5 Custodes fighting together should be fucking destructive.
Right. So this brings me to what we're discussing really, and again, a couple of forums, a couple of the chats in the Facebook groups, and other people, and it seemed to be that everyone thinks, again, it's going to be a very hard ask to actually match the fluff and the crunch, as it were, to match the that super elite bodyguard to the table, like actually portray that on the tabletop.
Yeah.
And we heard the rumors a while ago about Forge World having problems in playtesting because they were
demolishing everything.
They were too fucking tough. So how do you balance that? Do you the way I said I imagine them being, I imagine on the tabletop a custode being each guy is going to be a praetor. That's how at the level I see them coming up.
Well, yeah, I was thinking about this because you mentioned that before, and I was thinking actually I would suggest that it would be more like the squad would be Centurion level, and the sergeant of the squad, or whoever they're going to have to lead the squad, would be like a Praetor plus, because they don't all fight, they fight individually. So individually they're all pretty hard, so Centurion, but the Praetor plus, he will be brilliant. But I also see them not having a lot of synergy as a unit. They don't bounce off each other and give each other bonuses. They kind of work individually, but they don't get much, a squad of 5 is not much more effective than a squad of 10 because they don't get the benefit from.
On that note, then if they're all kind of entry level Centurion and then entry level Praetor, you're still looking at around 450 plus points for the unit, which is equivalent to like an absolute tooled up specialist Terminator unit from somebody else.
I'm expecting them to come out 5 guys to be around Primarch level points wise, reasonable. Okay, Primarch
so assuming that, then I don't think you can have an army of these guys.
No, I don't think there will be. I think you'll have.
But everyone seems to, and I've been saying, from all the different weekenders and stuff, they seem to be saying that there was Agents of the Emperor, which was going to be like assassins, sisters, whatever. I thought custodes were going to fall under that. I don't think they do necessarily in the fluff, because there are actually quite a lot of them. They have got hover tanks, they have got hover transports, they've got Firebird, whatever the flyer's called. They've got different weapons, but I don't see them as like an army. And as you said, they aren't designed to be an army. They are
the place the only place they in the fluff are described as being enforced is on Terra. They're only ever talked about as being enforced in Terra, and there is a story where they go out in force against an Imperial Fist ship, that's something to do with the guy in the Blood Games. He basically causes a fucking massive distraction to the Custo Guard by ordering a Imperial Fist ship to fly over the Palace of Terror, and the Custos go fucking apeshit, and he uses that distraction to try and get to the Emperor as part
That's
of the Blood
so
Game.
funny. This is like Maverick in Top Gun.
It's fucking nuts.
I'm
It's
just
amazing.
gonna do a flyby. Sorry, this is Tower. Flyby denied. And then
But they even
whoa, fucking battle barge goes flying past.
but they still only really hear them talked about in five, maybe 10-man squads going out, and that's a huge deployment of them. I think they'll be like Knights Errants, where you can pay to take a custode, or probably more likely you'll pay to take a squad of custodes to ally in, and they'll probably have some really harsh scores like the Knights Errants do, where if you don't win your mission, basically the Knights Errants, if they don't complete their mission, you can't win no matter what.
So I imagine I'm if they don't get an army list, as in you can take them as a detachment or an allied detachment or whatever, and I don't necessarily see them being taken in a Knight Errant sort of way. I can see them being kind of what Stu said right back at the start with Sisters. I can see them basically being, here's a unit, here's the war gear that you can upgrade them with, here's the points cost, and here's the ally matrix, which will all be obviously trusted. It'll only be, well, there could be a range, because it could be like, well, we don't know if Dark Angels are loyal or not, we don't know if they're loyal or not, but I think basically there'll be Battle Brother equivalent with all loyalists, and you can't take them as traitors. But I think it would just be a unit that any Legion list can take, and they fill an elite slot.
Yeah, well,
I think it'd just be five. It'd be 5 guys. You put them in your elite slot. As a base, they're 350 points, 325 points, but they're a bit crap. You can give 2 of them shields. You can give special weapons. You can upgrade their spear to, or they come with a sword. They can upgrade to the Guardian spear or whatever. That's more how I see them fitting in. But people are saying they're going to get a list. Like if they get an army list, it'd be fucking bonkers.
They won't get a list. What if they're super tough and they take up a Lord of War slot?
Yeah,
you could do that. Yeah, 750 points, and they're like
5
the
guys.
most fucking insane things in the world.
Yeah,
like, there's no reason.
I don't think it'll be 750, but they might be close to 500. They might be close to Primarch sort of points.
If they've got the kind of stat line and rules that I think they should have, and I'm not talking about them being that upper end that I was saying earlier, where they're to a Space Marine as they are to human, because that's getting onto like Primarchs or whatever. But they're supposed to be like on that. Or when you're talking about that end of the spectrum, they are supposed to be that tough. Even at the lower end, they are going to be like toughness 5, strength 5, weapon skill 5, BS 5. They're going to be Praetor, even Praetor plus. I think like they have to be. Otherwise, like, why are you going to take them? I don't. Even as a fun like unit, for the points cost, there's nothing necessarily fluffy about going, here's X amount of points on this unit that haven't got transport, and they're all a bit tough. Like it doesn't really make any sense on the tabletop.
I could see it being, they're 500 points for these guys. Here's some upgrades. Blah blah blah. They can be taken in a loyalist army as an elite slot or a Lord of War slot. I mean, I think maybe not a Lord of War slot, because you would probably want to see them on the field with a Primarch or something. You could see them being deployed that way, but on the same hand,
I don't think they will be. I was just throwing it out there. But at the same time, sometimes you'd want to see a super heavy on the same field as a Primarch.
Well, it's an idea, because I mean, there's all options like they opened up with the suborbital wing. You could basically say it's like a Custodians detachment, and it fits in your Lord of War slot. I mean, the same way that suborbital strike allows you to take like 3 whatever flyers. You could, there's different ways they can do it. I just had the elite slot because it makes sense.
You could take one unit of Custo Guards as an Lord of War detachment. They cost 500 points. Here's some upgrades. Thank you very much.
Could take an HQ slot.
Yeah.
A non-compulsory HQ slot. That would really restrict a lot of lists. So you can take it. I can take it with Stone Gauntlet, because you're only if you you could I suppose, but there's a lot of restrictions on types of HQs you can take, isn't there? Depending on what else you picked. So
So that starts to fall more in line with your with Tom's idea about kind of like a knight errant. Being that.
I think that's probably what it's going to be, more likely. I think they will probably not be as strong on the table as the fluff. But saying that, neither are Primarchs really, are they? So you've got to take that into account.
Yeah, you listen to Primarchs, and they should really be able to take an entire army by themselves, no problems. And your Dawn and my Gilliman spent fucking 5 rounds tickling each other in the game, didn't they?
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah,
I think that's what it'll be. I think it's more likely to be Elite or HQ, and they'll be toned down in the same kind of way as Primarchs have to be just to get them in the game, really.
I think either way, it's fucking exciting. There's going to be.
Absolutely. They're the reason I'm buying it. As much as it's an awesome box, I'm not. I've just finished a Marine army. And I'm confident it's like the last one. It's going to be on sale for a year. So if it was just Marines, as much as I like it, I probably wouldn't rush out to get it. I'd probably be thinking, well, Christmas is coming up, want money for book 7, etc., etc. But because of the sisters and the custodes and that, I'm going to have to go and buy it just so, because those will get built and painted, I'm sure, because I'll be able to use them with my existing things, I hope.
Mentioning the book, I think this for me confirms the logical sales strategy, which is dump the box, get the book out before Christmas as well.
Do bundles.
Russ will be out, and I also think there may even be time, depending on whether or not the rumours around Blood Bowl being for Christmas or Blood Bowl being the New Year. I think there may even be time for something else that they will really shock us with, something Forge World do to tie in with the box set. So I know they've got Russ. So I doubt it'd be Magnus. I doubt it'd be another Primarch. But maybe something like a vehicle for the Custodes.
I think what we'll see is Russ, Inferno, Prospero box. And then I think they'll take it easy, because bear in mind, I think Prospero will drop and there'll be some other specific unit from that in November, and then I think December they'll start throwing out all these bits we're missing: the Elastus pattern storm cannon, assault cannons, the ultramarine breaching shields, the power spears, all those kind of stocking fillery bits for Christmas. The sort of thing you go, oh yeah, fuck it, I'll order a box of them. Oh yeah, fuck it, I'll order a box of them. And I think in January it'll be his Blood Bowl. Go out and buy that now. You fuckers.
Yeah, it seemed like the Blood Bowl website was set up very much. Apologies to people that don't like it or don't follow it, but it seemed like it was set up to tease for a few weeks. Yeah.
But I think Blood Bowl will be end of November, beginning of December, and I think through December it'll be Forge will drop in little bits.
Yeah.
It'll be those. All the stuff, because bear in mind we saw the vigil pattern storm shields, the Elastus assault cannons, the ultramarine storm shields. We saw them all in February, and we're still missing them. I think we'll see all those in the run up to Christmas, and they'll be sort of like I said, stocking fillery bits. Nothing major. I think it'll be getting all that stuff out there, so people will go, well, do you know what? Yeah, I'm ordering something for Christmas. I'll order those little storm shields or those assault cannons as well as we go.
Yeah, that could work.
Everyone needs assault cannons. If you don't wake up on Christmas Day and your stocking is not full, if you don't wake up on Christmas Day? If you wake up on Christmas, if you don't wake up, it's a really sad Christmas.
Yeah.
If you wake up on Christmas Day,
it's pretty fucked Christmas for you if you don't wake
pretty
up.
Fucking miserable if you don't wake up. If you do wake up, touch wood, God hopes everyone has a wonderful Christmas wake up. And you check your stockings and it's not filled with assault cannons. That's a pretty sad Christmas.
I've already told my wife if I wake up and there's not assault cannons in my stocking, she might as well fill out those divorce forms.
Your Honour. Well, if you take Exhibit A, an empty stocking.
An empty stocking.
Distinctly lacking assault cannons.
As you'll notice here, my lord, there are no Elastus pattern storm assault cannons here. There is a severe lack of vigil pattern storm shields, and I think you can quite really clearly see that is unacceptable behaviour. And my grounds for divorce is perfectly acceptable.
Yeah, Granted.
How'd it go, woman? Let's face it, I'm only this brave.
Racist, sexist, misogynist. This is a great episode.
It's all right, I'm brave. She's downstairs and she's got the telly on. So
she's left you already. She's
left me, yeah. Let's face it, like I said, after yawning kittens, she's quite happy I'm up here painting toy soldiers and talking crap.
Have you seen, and again, listeners playing along at home, go to the 1, 2, 3, 4, the fourth picture on Battle Bunnies, and it's the Custodes on the left. He's got his shield. That is the coolest fucking shield I have ever seen in 40k. It's a full-on Imperial Quilla as a shield. That looks so cool. I'm going to have to get that, recast like a million of them, and just stick them everywhere. Not even like, it's just like, have you paid combat shield upgrade? No. Breacher shield upgrade? No, just got a shield on the model.
Do you know what I'm really hoping is, have you seen on the sisters, they've got all the Aquila tattoos on their head? I'm really hoping that they're going to be transfers for the sisters,
because you want to put one on your face, don't you?
Yeah, and fuck am I painting those Aquilas on all their head?
I thought you were going to say you wanted to go and like stick them on your wife. Like,
for listeners who are interested in my social domestic situation, I've just had a text message from my wife saying she can hear you, so I'm fucked. It makes a change because she's actually communicating with me with words and not Pikachu gifts at the moment.
Pikachu gift? What the fuck is a Pikachu gift?
GIF.
Pikachu. Yeah, GIF. You know Pikachu from Pokemon.
Oh, gifts. Oh, sorry, I thought you said gifts. I thought you meant like there's a Pikachu laying like little shits around your house or something.
No, quite sadly, my wife has discovered GIFs on Facebook on new iOS 10, and she seems to communicate solely through Pikachu GIFs now.
Begin again.
As you do. She's probably going to fucking send me another text message in a minute telling me to stop being a prick, but there we go. It's all.
Moving on.
Yeah, going from my domestic situation. Tartarus
Terminators. Yeah. Oh my god, these are the coolest fucking things I've seen in a long while. I never had a thing for Tartarus. Me and Tartarus, we were on good terms, but we never went out and saw a movie together. You know, I never like phoned them up and said, "Do you fancy some sushi?" But I'd date night every one of these guys. Look at that. Volkites, power swords. They look very cool. Very cool. I'd even go as far to say that they have pulled off plastic Tartarus as well as plastic. They did with the plastic Counterfactory. I think they look awesome.
Yeah. The Terminators look sweet. The Mark IIIs look sweet. Ahriman. What's your opinions on Ahriman?
I really like him. Yeah, cool. I really like him. From day one, I wasn't expecting 40k Ahriman. I was expecting the artwork. I wasn't expecting it to be Ahriman. I was expecting to be a 30k sorcerer, but he looks like the artwork. Like I don't get what the issue is. He's not. Why would he look like the 40k Ahriman? It makes no sense.
No, I really like him. I think he's really good.
And everyone was like, oh my god, they're going off their tits about him having the Eye of Horus on one of his shoulder pads. And like every argument I saw, there was like that 1,000 Suns fan in amidst like 50 million people arguing about trying to be defensive about why he would have the Eye of Horus on his shoulder pad already, even though firstly they weren't traitors, secondly they hadn't sided with Horus, thirdly it's another anachronistic issue, like out of time sort of thing. And then this one little fan was like, that's not the Eye of Horus.
Yeah,
it's another Egyptian themed like eye symbol that they use all the time in Thousand Suns iconography, and it's like a power symbol or a fucking
that's the thing or whatever. The eye of Horus is an Egyptian symbol anyway.
Yeah, I know. But it was the fact that they were particularly like everyone was arguing over whether it was or not, and then they were arguing over literally like I saw multiple threads on forums. saw it all over Facebook. There was like one with like 100+ comments, and it was just people arguing over whether or not it was, which then changed into whether or not it was acceptable, and maybe they were going to change the story that Thousand Sons had turned to Horus or something. And then there's one poor little guy that I can just imagine there,
like guys, listen, I kind of know what I'm talking about here.
Yeah, it's like, and he didn't do what I did. He didn't go like wailing, going, "You fucking morons."
Oh, you mean he was an internet troll?
It was a polite human being who had the time to actually deal with stupid people. And
courtesy and decency.
Yeah, and patience. And he was just like no one fucking liked it. No one responded, and it just carried on with this tide of ignorant retards arguing.
That's the thing. Like, people do just want to argue quite often. They just want to have an argument.
Yeah, I'm much more inclined to want to talk about the model. I think it looks, again, the pose. It's not too static, and it's not too combat, and it's not too.
It's a pose that suits the model.
Yeah, but he could be, again, if you really want to, you could stick a pistol in his hand and make it more combat-y. You could, have the head look in a different direction and have a different right arm. You can do whatever. But as it stands, it's a Thousand Sons guy that's kind of casting or pointing. He's got the iconography. It's such an amazing sculpt. I think it's really, really good.
Yeah, I really like the Ahriman sculpt. Like I think I said to you guys earlier, like I'd love a Thousand Sons Legion. I have no reason to do it, but I think I'll paint Ahriman up because I like him. I'd like to have him in my cabinet and on display.
Because I am Tizca.
Yeah.
Somebody was like earlier. They were like, but he's not. He's from Terra. And then Matt started a massive argument about. Well, he means spiritually he's from Tizca. Like, he's found his real home. Like, and this kind of shit. And I was like, oh my god, really?
Chill the fuck out. Really? Shut up. It was fucking cool. It made me go. It made me sit at my work desk and go, oh, that's fucking cool. And that's all I want. I play with plastic toy soldiers. I don't care if it's factually correct to some lore 25 years ago. I want to go, fuck, that's cool. That's all.
So apart from, so you said what you're going to do. No, you haven't said. So what are you going to use the box contents for if you're buying?
So I'm going to buy the special Snowflake Ultramarines shields when they come out. So I'll convert my Mark IIIs to breaches. Yeah, I'll probably have a load of breaches because I've had this really cool vision in my head ever since I saw the Moritat model earlier in the year that I'm going to have a dual Volkite welding Moritat leading a shield wall of Ultramarines storming down corridors in ZM with an implacable Roman shield wall and a dude with laser space guns blasting out over the top of it. So I'm going to do that. I'm definitely going to build up the sisters to come into be an allied force in my army. I'll probably paint the custodes up as well to be, like a cool add-on model. Just throw them in, use them in games every now and again. But yeah, I mean, I'll probably get rid of the Space Wolf character. He looks cool. I like him. He's not going to fit into anything I want to do.
Oh
really.
God, we haven't talked about the Space Wolf.
Yeah, because his name's not Bjorn.
Fucking Bjorn.
I'm not fucking interested. So fucking Bjorn.
What do you think of that model?
That was the guy from ABBA, wasn't it? Fucking Bjorn.
Fucking Bjorn. Yeah. Oh God.
I think his head looks a bit like the 40k plastic kit heads, doesn't it, with a beard sculpted on it? I don't know. Do you know the ones I mean? Yeah. I don't know which kit it is. Is it the young what?
Out of everything in the kit. Yeah, out of everything in the kit, it's the one thing I went, meh, that's all right. It's cool. It's all right. Don't really like it. Maybe there's, depending on how the wolf iconography goes on him and how the model puts together, he might be quite cool for a conversion, to use. He's got quite a dynamic pose, but if I've got to spend ages filing off, wolf heads off everything, I'm probably not going to use wolf. Yeah,
it's a space wolf. It's awesome, but it's a space wolf.
Yeah, I think if you
unless you're playing
into
Space
wolves, you love it.
It's clearly a space wolf model, like Ahriman. Ahriman's clearly you're only ever going to use Ahriman for Ahriman. It's not. He's not going to be too. There's not going to be too much out of him. But yeah, I looked and went, yeah, it's cool. All right, what's next? Oh, there's lots of other exciting shiny things in here.
So what's next is that what's interesting is everyone I've seen chatting has been assuming that these are TAC Marines, and quite a few of them seem to be built as TAC Marines. But when you read the box contents, it says veterans.
Yeah, but that's the same as
isn't it?
that's the same as the Calth box set. There was
Does that say veterans as well?
Yeah, veterans as well. The reason for that
the extra weapon set.
The extra weapon set, so you can kit your veterans out like your 40k tag squads
with a special weapon and a heavy weapon.
Yeah, so it makes sense, especially if they're looking for that 40k crossover, to kit them out like that, so that 40k people can buy it and go, yeah, I've got all the heavy and special weapons I need. And also, if you do run them as vet tax, you can do that. But it's 40 dudes in Mark III power armor. You know, gear them up how you want. I'm going to have them as breaches because I'll use the shields with them. You know, if you want to build them as vets, great, cool. You know, I know people with Mark III sort of heavy armor, you know, Death Guard, Iron Hands and stuff, are going to be going, fuck yeah, I spent £150 on each of my tactical squads. Now I could have spent £95 on all my.
Yeah, exactly. It's great. What's Graham? And then actually, before I jump on that, in a way that's really good because for certain legions that haven't necessarily had a lot of models, like Dark Angels, I think look better in more knightly, older style chunky plate, and Dark Angels haven't had full releases yet. So people who are just starting Dark Angels armies or will be thinking about getting Dark Angels armies, it's great for them because they can use the Mark III and Tartarus. It's more suited them. Also, it's obviously a nice change from all the Mark IV stuff as well. So it's a fresh option for lots of people. But what was Graham? I haven't seen him around the club for I haven't been at the club much chance to get the club, but I haven't seen him around for ages. And he played Dark Angels 40k, and it looks like he's playing Dark Angels in 30k.
Yeah, he put a post up. He was looking at places to start and stuff. So I pointed him towards the Forgotten Legion guys for their adverts on their shorter episodes on Rights of Wars and what to do with your cow set and stuff. But I mean, if you're going Dark Angels, Mark III all the way. That's what you're going to do, isn't it?
That's quite good for those. But
oddly enough, though, you saying about Tartarus and Mark III, I see Cataphracti and Mark III a lot more. I see Tartarus much more with Mark IV. It kind of fits that kind of more slimline, smooth, fast aesthetic. I see Cataphracti and Mark III more of that kind of lumbering, heavy plate kind of style.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh no, I agree with that. I wasn't necessarily saying that. I was just saying that the way it looks, the way Mark III looks is it suits the knight aesthetic, like more armored plating and stuff like that. Tartarus, it looks quite bulky. It's smooth, but it looks quite bulky. I mean, for me, I said earlier the white scars that I'm probably going to use. I can't think of any other. Well, I can think of some projects, but the projects I will probably end up actually doing, if I do use them for my white scars, is doing breaches. And if we're going to do some ZM games, I want to try some, mess around with some breaches. They'll definitely be in Mark III. Again, in the fluff, scars are more likely to use Mark II. But if you're a breacher, everyone's, all the legions are issued or trained to use the shield and the void armor. But Tartarus Terminator armor definitely suits them more because I don't see apart from the Keshig and the bodyguards for the Khan and stuff, they don't like slow shit. They're not. They don't really have dreadnoughts.
Yeah,
they're a bit like horses. If you get wounded too much, like the apothecary's walking over and he's like, "Oh, we have the technology. We can rebuild you." And he's got like a harness to start the operation and put you into a dread. And like your nearest battle brother basically just cocks his bolt pistol and puts a bullet in your head like before the apothecary gets there, because they won't let you get into the fucking
because who's the guy in the who runs from Scars to Path of Heaven, the main character, he's basically so screwed up at the end of Scars, and he's so battered to death that he should be put in the Dreadnought, and they don't. They basically completely rebuild him out of
he's like
bionic.
90% he's like 90% robot because he basically refuses to be slowed down and put into a fucking casket or whatever. And they keep adding him, rebuilding him and shit. But yeah, so if they do use Terminators. As I said, the bodyguard unit are Terminators. I can't remember they necessarily say what they are, but I assume they're going to be in Tartarus because Tartarus is the most.
Yeah, I would go
agile.
with Tartarus. I think I could definitely see White Scars in Tartarus more than I could see them in Cataphracti.
Yeah, so that works for me. The Mark III could be some breaches, like you said. Stick some shields on there, which I may or may not have a batch coming from ML Shields with awesome round Mongol Dragon not White Scar design on the front. That would be so fucking cool. So I got those, Tartarus. In all honesty, I don't see myself using Custodes. I will really love painting them.
Yeah.
But unless they can be an
gonna
army...
paint them?
Eventually, there's a timeline, and we're probably talking about 5 years' time.
2020. Yeah, 2020. They might get undercut.
That's like 3 years. That's like 3 years' time, basically. That's too soon. Yeah, I don't. The sisters, I'd love to use sisters. Unless there's an army, I don't necessarily see myself playing the Custodes. I think they're too. I just don't. Maybe they'll shock me. I just can't see them working it in a way that I'd want to play on the table. I think they're going to be very hard to get right.
Yeah, I'm looking at them as a unit that I'll throw in my army for fun. I'll chuck them in to use them every now and again, and just see how they go in the army.
Just do battles. We could actually do. Well, we're going to have to replicate.
I can imagine they've been brutal in Zone Mortalis.
Yeah, you go around the corner and there's a fucking giant there who just kicks you through the wall.
Yeah, fucking smashes you, just like, yeah, come look at my Guardian Spear, dick. Smash.
I can't stop looking at these sisters. That final shot with all the sisters with their massive swords and their awesome ponytails.
Yeah, I love the whole top knot.
Oh, sorry, not ponytails. Oh, sorry, yeah, top knots. Yeah.
I'm just started and Flight of the Eisenstein again as I'm working my way back through the audiobooks, and sisters have just appeared in that, and you just think, literally I listened to the description of them today, how they're described in it, and the models came out, and I just thought that's exactly how I pictured them when they were being described earlier, which is freaking awesome. It literally has tied up perfectly.
I'm trying to remember which book is it where they're fighting on an alien ship, and one of the Primarchs is there, and there's a whole load of guys with him, and they're fighting onto this alien ship. I think the aliens are like psychers, and they've got like a queen thing. Is it that one?
Yeah,
and the sisters are with them, and they're fighting the way, and they're like, I think the alien's like a psychic thing, and it keeps.
Yeah, that's the first battle in Flight of the Eisenstein, which I'm building up to.
Okay, so which Primarch's that? Is it Mortarion?
Mortarion, yeah.
Yeah, fucking years ago.
He's with Garrow.
That's right. And I just remember them. Yeah, they fighting the way in from the docks, and then the sisters arrive and help. And then isn't the rest of the battle like through the eyes of one of the sisters, or the sisters there with them?
The sisters are there with Garrow.
Yeah. Oh, that was really cool. I might have to follow you and re-listen to them all. It was so long ago that I read that one.
Yeah, it's been really enjoyable smashing the audiobooks back in the car and sort of going back to the start. I did the first two books, then did Praetorian at Dawn on the audiobook, and then I've done book 3, and I'm just starting Flight of the Eisenstein, and it's really cool actually to kind of go back to see the start and see how the narrative developed, and things are it's quite interesting to see how, little things that you kind of dismissed the first time you went through the books because you didn't have the context that you pick up. Now you know what happens later on in the story. Yeah. That are sort of alluded to. It's really cool. It's really
Yeah,
good.
I'll have to. I definitely think when I get some time, I'll go full circle and
Yeah.
go back. It's the other. I'm trying to think the other kind of iconic, apart from the Prospero stuff. The other iconic scene I can remember is the Council of Nicaea, and
Yeah.
Russ is sat there with like a load of gnolls, like not just sisters. I think they mention other gnolls, but they've got a load of sisters around him, and the Thousand Sons undercover agent guy is like brought into the room, and he's like, "Why would you show me?" And he's like, "Well, firstly, like we're using you as a pawn as much as they are, and secondly, I've got so many gnolls here that like even the thousands, even Magnus can't like listen in.
Yeah, he doesn't know
what's
I'm
going
here.
on. Yeah, so he's just sat there in this like little cubbyhole with a load of sisters, like a load of hot bitches who are keeping him safe with their breasts. And
At his Primarch bitch party.
yeah, it sounded pretty hot. You know, he had some fun in there before he got called. When he finally got called to session, you know, he was just walking out of that room like zipping up his flies, walking out of the thing.
Hey, Silent Sisters, come check out my superhuman penis. That'll make you talk.
It's like, yeah, you think custodes are big? I'm a Primarch.
Oh, he definitely. Russ has definitely got a chick in every port, hasn't he?
Yeah,
He's one of those dudes.
A handful, definitely. Right. Oh, so do we have any other releases apart from? Oh, I could talk about this forever.
Apart from the one in my pants when it came out.
Yeah. Oh my god, it's so good. It looks so good. What else is in the box? D10s. Are they D10s? D8s?
Yeah, there's D10s and D8s. You seem to be far more excited about the fact there were D10s in the box than anything else.
I was honestly okay. So there's a very important reason I was excited about this, and that is that if they are going to move towards manufacturing other dice, you think they would do that as a core game system, a core part of all of more than one game system. They're not going to just produce dice. Yes, they'll produce different printed D6s like they have done and different sizes for Betrayal at Calf and other box games. But that is a whole different kettle of fish to actually printing up D8s or D10s. And someone might go, oh, yes, it's exactly the same. You just call the same Chinese factory and tell them that you want D8s, D10s rather than D6s, and they just print them with whatever graphics you send them. But that is a big step away from just printing D6s. And for ages, like since they stopped using the sustained fire dice, like it's just D6s, or like D6 everywhere. So if they're changing die systems or they're adding potential, I think this may herald the start of seeing a change potentially in other game systems. I don't know whether it's going to see like, oh, it's a revolution and 40k is going to move to D10s. Nor that would necessarily fix the problem. We kind of touched on that a bit in previous episodes. Oh no. Oh, we need to have an episode about different dice. Anyway, but I think they will. I think that we'll see a change. I think we might start seeing other games with more than just D6s in them. I doubt very much that just for this, and that's a good thing because that gives more variation, it gives more range, gives more options. I
mean the whole 40k roll a D66 on 2 dice for the tactical objectives. It's just a pain in the dick, you know, and it doesn't work. So using some more dices other than D6, that'd be quite cool.
Yeah, I don't think it's a production thing. I think it's more of I think they stopped doing it just because it was simple and people knew what a D6 was. But they're definitely going to get more made. The Blood Bowl set. Have you watched the Blood Bowl introductory video, unboxing video? I know Tom has. I don't know if you've seen it, Nick. I know you're not quite as interested. But there's a D16, I believe, in there, isn't there? They've made a D16. So
is that like satanic or something? Are they like Illuminati? Like, what the fuck? How does that even work? Does it like hover when you drop it, like not land on one? I
think so. Yeah. Is
it like the Inception, like the totem?
If you roll 2 of them at the same time, Fulgrim crawls out your ass.
Yeah, it just appears. You're caught, and you're like, no, get back.
No, get back in my ass, Fulgrim.
Later.
Yeah, no,
what the fuck? Oh, that's crazy.
There's times are definitely changing. I mean, I posted on the Geno page today about some pictures from Blood Bowl, and I mean, like I said on the post, I was like, I know it's not heresy, but isn't it cool to see a different company we're dealing with now? You know, they're at trade fairs, they're putting pre-production stuff out there, they're generating hype before stuff's released, not just dumping it on the day it's released and going, here you go and buy it, off you go.
They're creating web content. They're embracing the interwebs.
Yeah.
Only 10 years later, 15 years later.
It's been generally really well received as well. You know, people are going, oh, brilliant, we've wanted this forever.
It reminds me of the GW of my sort of childhood, or I won't say quite childhood, but sort of teens. Definitely, the feel of the White Dwarf, the multiple game systems coming out. This seems like a more relaxed fun. We're having fun making games. We want you to play them, and we want you to engage with us as well. Tell us how you're playing them. Send us pictures of your models. It's very much that kind of hobby aspect rather than that sort of dictating.
Just community. It's just community.
Yeah.
The whole ethos of the modern fucking world is interconnectedness. It's all about talking to people instantly on the other fucking side of the planet, sharing pictures, having a laugh. Like that's all it's about. When you see the happy staff, like those guys in those videos, the reason those videos are funny is not just because they're funny and they're in jokes and they're well timed and whatever. It's because the guys are having a great time. They're working probably in their dream job. And what I imagine would be an awesome company, producing stuff that they've been involved. You know, they've been involved. I assume been involved in the hobby themselves, and they're into that kind of thing. You can see it on their faces. And again, when they were running the Twitch videos, when they were covering the Age of Sigmar event, I wasn't necessarily enjoying it because I was following the games, and I was like, they were cool. The models looked amazing, but those guys are having so much fun, and that encourages you to want to get involved.
They're genuinely having fun doing what they're doing, and it's showing through in what they're doing. People are going, this is cool, they're having fun, let's engage in this in the same sort of way.
Yeah, the energy comes across. Yeah, they're hilarious. Yeah. Like when they were doing the recycling one, I laughed out loud. Like I physically laughed out loud. And it's rare that unless I'm in a relaxed happy mood to laugh like that. It's so good.
Because they're not encouraging trolls, because they're not being too corporate. They're having fun, they're doing a laugh, they're self-aware, and people are responding in the same way, going, yeah, we don't want to troll them and sit on here and piss and moan. They're having fun, so we're going to have fun.
That's it. It works. It's so good. Right at the end when he was in that final recycling bin, and he's like, oh god, there's loads of stuff in here, and he's like shuffling around. Plastic scissors of battle. And I'm like, what the fuck? Oh, it's so good. It's so good. It hit the mark. Like, it was amazing. Really chuffed.
Awesome. I think we've probably fucking exhausted absolutely everything, even though there is a fuck ton of awesome stuff out. I think we've probably about managed to talk for 2 and a bit hours on all the exciting shit that's coming out. So it's cool. Send us your thoughts on what you think, guys. What do you think? You know, are we talking completely out of our backsides, or do you think, you know, as per usual, we're probably exactly fucking right as always, you know, as we're the fucking gods of hobby? Send us your comments. Let us know what you think, guys. And I think what we're going to do now is take a little break, and we'll come back to you with another little section in a minute. Welcome back, guys. I hope that was an enjoyable little break for you. We've talked quite a fucking lot, so we're going to move into our first section tonight. We're going to, after our headhunters discussion, we're going to go into another unit and start having a bit of a discussion about them. And I got to pick, so I picked the best squad in Horus Heresy, bar none, the best in the units, best ever. Best, just fuck off. They're brilliant. So we're gonna have a little chat about the Invictaris Suzerain squad tonight, because Ultramarines, they're just fucking brilliant. And essentially, I mean, I'm gonna sum it up and just say, well, they're fucking brilliant. So what do you want to talk about? But I've been told that apparently that's not enough of a discussion. So let me give you some background on them. So the Invictaris Suzerain exists as a class apart from the line units of the Legionis Astartes Ultramarines. for they serve the Primarch and the Tetrarchs directly. Chosen from the ranks, each suzerain is a warrior marked for future greatness and high command. It is from the Invictaris suzerain that many of the Legion's futures officers are drawn. In fulfilling their many and varied duties, they not only learn the arts of war, but those of order, leadership, and governance. The warriors of the Invictaris suzerain are the living embodiments of their Primarch's rule, and they bear the arms and armour fuck's sake, you can tell I'm a few rums in tonight, can't you? To exemplify this ideal. Fucking hell. The Legantin power axe are ancient symbols once carried by the heralds of the battle kings of Macragge, but they are more than signs of office. They are used to enact instant justice on those who would define the Primarch's will. They bear shields to which hold the anarchy and disorder at bay, and their resplendent armour shines with the light of their Primarch's wisdom and authority. In battle, the suzerains enact their Primarch's judgment upon their foe, striking down the enemies of mankind in order to bring the shining future which is Ultramar is the leading edge. What more can you say? They're fucking brilliant. I mean,
that is the most glam 80s rock band kind of intro to a unit. Anyway, it's like leading edge.
They're so fucking metal. Let's face it. I mean, you've both been on the receiving end of my suzerain. Does that sum up how you feel when you see them on the charge?
Definitely a euphemism.
Well,
So,
you did talk about spraying your knob gold the other day.
Yes, it did hurt. It did hurt. Yeah.
They do hurt on the charge. I mean, let's give you some rules background then. So, suzerain, 5 of the bad boys in a unit, 200 points. I mean, they could be 400 points and they still be brilliant. That's going.
What is that? Is that 200 base 5 guys?
Yeah.
200 points for 5 guys.
Oh my fucking god, that's disgusting.
Weapon skill 5, ballistic skill 4, strength 4, toughness 4, 1 wound, initiative 4, 2 attacks base, leadership 10, 2 plus.
Why have they got 2 attacks? What the fuck?
Because they're going to kick your dick off. They come as standard with a bolt pistol, Legantian axe, boarding shield, frag and crack grenades, artificer armor. They've
all got artificer armor.
Yeah, they've all got artificer armor
for 200 points. What the fuck?
They're all Ultramarines. They've all got implacable advance. They've got the Lords of Ultramar rule, chosen warrior, and honoured bearers as well. So Lords of Ultramar basically means anybody within 12 gets +1 leadership to their leadership within 12. That includes units from the Solar Auxilia and the Imperial Militia Army, so not just them, that's their allies. Chosen warriors, they can all issue and accept challenges, and honor bearers as well. You can take them as a command squad for your Praetor as well. So with Guilliman in a squad, they give 2+ leadership to everybody in the army, essentially. So screw you all, everybody's leadership 10. We're not going anywhere. Legantian axe, what do I need to say? Strength as user, AP2, any 6s to hit, instantly wound.
So it's AP2 at initiative.
Screw
Go
you all.
Fuck yourself.
I'm going to swing my axe and I'm going to chop your head off. And
so we haven't got the White Scars rules yet. We're going to assume they will have units that will have multiple weapons. But at the moment, only one of them, i.e. the Sergeant or the usual people that could take special weapons, can get the AP2 weapon at initiative. Emperor's Children can get it, but they have to be on the charge. They don't get it all the time. And then the Suzerains rock up. Everyone can have an axe. Here you go. You can have an axe. You can have an axe. Oh, you've joined the squad. You can have an axe. And
that's the best thing about Ultramarines, isn't it? The best thing about Ultramarines is the fact that oh, fuck's sake! I've just spilt my rum everywhere. I'm so.
The best thing about Ultramarines is you can be drunk and still play them.
Yeah, you can fuck everybody up. Let me make the point that I was going to make, and then I'll clean this shit up. What is it? Legantian axe.
Just call
any model with
the issue gifts to your website.
Yeah, send to Pikachu gifts.
Clean up.
What's up? Any independent character with the Ultramarines rule can take an axe as well. So in my little death squad, I've got a chaplain, a praetor, and 5 suzerain with initiative, swinging at initiative, AP2 axes. that's forgetting about Gilliman as well. So
everyone have an axe. You have an axe.
Everyone have an axe.
What's that? Sorry, what Praetor? You want to come along? Have an axe. Yep. Are you gonna bring your apothecary, buddy? Yeah, here, catch.
Yeah, Primus Medicare with an axe. You know, fuck it. Everybody gets an axe.
Oh, you haven't got artificer armor. Sorry, you have to have artificer armor to be in Team Suzerain.
So, I mean,
Bling.
I know they're fucking brilliant. You know, you don't need to tell me that. You know, they're on screen, so they're already a step above everybody else anyway. But what do you think? Did the rules reflect the kind of description I gave you? Does that sound right? You know,
do they reflect 80s metal glam? Over the top, awesome bastards. Yeah, I think they do really. That's like, it's a relatively standard stat line, and then you go, oh, you know, they got extra attack, extra weapon skill.
The thing I found really useful, and things that I found, you know, really swing it for me, are the weapon skill 5 and the 2 attacks. Just that little bit extra when you go into a weapon skill 4 squad. Just that little bit extra. Converting a few more attacks to hits, you know, and then, you know, swinging 3 attacks on the charge, you know, it counters the fact they got boarding shields, so they can't have 2 attacks for specialist weapons. Well,
so the axe is a specialist weapon, is it?
No, I don't think it is actually.
So then that and the
oh no, sorry,
it is, I think.
No, the axe is a specialist weapon, so that and the because you got a boarding shield.
But what does the boarding shield do? We take one. It doesn't let you have the extra attack for.
Yeah. It doesn't let you have the extra attack, but you've got the extra attack built in anyway, so you're still 3 attacks on the charge.
Yeah,
anyway.
so that's why they've done that, just to make sure you get as standard two base attacks. So that's pretty good.
Yeah. So they take heads basically. They sit there and they've 5 guys and a Praetor went through 5 Tyrant Siege Terminators and a Siege Breaker in 1 round of combat without losing a guy.
must have had some bad invuln saves though there, surely.
Well, 4 up invuns. I'm taking that squad on the charge.
Wait. Who's got a 4 up invuln? They got a 5 up invuln, haven't they?
No, it's the cataphracting.
Oh, sorry, carry on.
So you look at the suzerain. You throw in suzerain and the Praetor. Suzerain are kicking out. What, 3 times 5, so 15 attacks on the charge. So we're excluding the Praetor in this. 3 times 5, 15 attacks on the charge. Any 6s to hit automatically wound, so you're converting a couple of wounds straight away. You're then wounding on 4s anyway. So you probably, I on average put about 8 or 9 wounds on a squad at AP2. So 8 or 9 wounds, 4 up invuns. That's going to convert to 4 or 5 fail saves, isn't it? So you lose your 5 guys. You then add in the Praetor that's already swung 6 attacks on the charge at them. There's your character gone. It's quite easily done.
Take out 5 I suppose on the wasn't thinking on the charge, but yeah, absolutely.
On the charge, they're pretty.
I was thinking of our game and how long that. While my cataphracti didn't kill much, they hung around for a while on their invuns, didn't they? But I suppose that was the turns after the charge.
It was the feel no pain that screwed me for you, because it was anytime you failed an
invun, I was getting the feel no pain.
You got your feel no pain, and that just kept you. We
did have almost identical. You had a Medicaid as well, didn't you? I think you had your chaplain in there.
Standard apothecary, and a chaplain.
I was just gonna say you got to remember that context is like probably the only unit in the game, or one of the very few units in the game that can hang around do that.
Yeah,
like it's got the best invuln, and you've got a feel no pain thrown in there from apothecary or whatever. Yeah. So like,
and to be
can't really match that against literally any other unit. They just hack the shit out of it. Yeah.
Well, that's the thing, because as well, you got your Primarch attacking in, and my Primarch had to punch a Leviathan Dreadnought to death.
Yeah, and he hung around. He hung around for a while as well, didn't he?
I love that image of Gilliman running around slapping a Leviathan.
He punched a Dread.
He punched him every turn until turn 5, but it was turn 5 before I failed my save.
Well, he's got a strength 10 AP1 power fist that he can attack with. So Gilliman spent 4 turns bouncing around with his Leviathan, punching him in the face until
So he was surviving. He was surviving the hits back from the.
Yeah, because
you got the automatic shielding, haven't you?
And then punching him with the.
I was just making loads of 4-up invuns all around him.
Oh Jesus!
Yeah. To be fair, Gilliman
punched each other.
Gilliman had punched a Spartan to death as well in that game, which was fucking brilliant. I took 2 whole points off your Spartan, and then Gilliman ran in and punched the Spartan to death in one charge.
He certainly did.
Which was pretty.
And the combat was just that was the game, wasn't it? Everything else was just.
Well, the mission I'd written. For
we can't give away what the mission was, otherwise.
Yeah.
It will spoil the event.
It basically revolved around one massive combat in the middle with 2 Primarchs and their bodyguards fighting each other to death. But yeah, Suzerain, they're pretty awesome. I think they fit up. I mean, the only thing we really need to do to get them to the right level is give them 2 wounds each. I think that would be pretty fair, wouldn't it, for 200 points?
Oh dear.
In all honesty, they are not. They're not horrendously broken. Obviously, they're reliant on, same as any assault unit, they're reliant on getting into combat.
Yeah.
They're a strange mix of having a dirty offensive AP2 weapon without tons of other assault-based skills or bonuses or whatever. But then they're really defensive as well with the invulnerable and the armor, the artificer armor. So it kind of screams the ultimate bodyguard for Gilliman, I guess. Really, I mean, I can't really see any other way of making them more if you had them in a corridor and you want to try and get past them, like what the fuck, like the biggest Terminators. Like Terminators are literally the only thing that you'd want to go up against.
The biggest leveler for them is once you get them out of combat and you fire anything with AP2 at them in, as soon as you get them out of combat, once they're stood in the middle, they just take a battering. I mean, your Thanatar took the entire unit out in the squad. James's Phosphex took out the entire unit in one barrage. Once they're out in the open, they do suffer a bit for only having a 5-up and 6-up invuln against shooting. They really do struggle for that. But I mean, once they're in combat, they just eat things.
Again, everything does, apart from good invuln characters or Terminators. Everything will die to that. So that's not so much of an issue. But yeah, so again, like any unit, if you want them to get into assault, they need a transport or they need some delivery mechanisms. That's the only thing. Let them down, but that's not inherent in the unit design. That's just the game, isn't it? You need that's game balance rather than unit design. So
I mean, it's good as well with them being able to take a challenge that you issue a challenge with your Primarch. Yeah, fine, take a Suzerain out, no problems. Take the Suzerain. My Primarch.
That's massive.
Primarch's going to punch everything else to death. And the leadership buff, it's nice. 12-inch leadership buff with them around them. You'd be only bumping. Tac squads up to leadership. Basically, with the Ultramarines army, one of the things I've realised is you can almost get to leadership 10 on everything with the way their rules work. You have a couple of characters about, and you can pretty much take all your leadership tests on leadership 10. It's very rare that I fail a leadership test now because you've got your Suzerain throwing out a bubble, you've got the Primarch throwing out a bubble. They're already taking fear, pinning, and regrouping tests on 10 anyway. So, the majority of their testing, so not pinning, fear and regroup testing on leadership 10, you pretty much, the Ultramarines come as close to having and they shall know no fear as any army does, which is pretty nuts, to be fair.
Yeah, that is fluffy to do with the organisation of the Legion, but that buff, I think, can be really, really huge, especially if you're running a lot of infantry. That bubble's big. I mean, that's old Warhammer Fantasy. That's your leadership bubble that you don't see it.
We need a hero.
Yeah, but you don't see it in 30k. I can remember my first game with you, Tom, when we were playing, and I hadn't played anything for years. I was asking you, does the general give out a leadership thing? They don't. But you've got that obviously with the Primarch, but it means you don't need to take a Lord of War to get that kind of buff. You've got an army standard in old Warhammer Fantasy, sort of, well, army general, a standard will give you the rerolls, but I think they've got loads and loads of little buffs and little extras that make them probably a little bit too cheap at 40 points a model.
I will admit they're strong. Did I tell you about my suzerain dick list that I wrote?
you might have. Is that involved lots of them, lots more than 5, I imagine.
Well, I worked a list out where if you take Guilliman and you take a Praetor to unlock the army, you take Guilliman who makes suzerain troops, compulsory troops. You take 3 squads of 10 suzerain. You put Guilliman and 10 and the Praetor in a Spartan, and you put 2 other squads in Land Raiders because they can take them as dedicated. So that basically fills up about 3,000 points. But you have a Spartan with Guilliman and 10 suzerain, and 2 other suzerain 10-man, 2 suzerain squads in Land Raiders. You drive the fucking things up the board and you run at people. Yeah, and that's 30 suzerain and a Primarch and a Praetor coming at you.
That's going to do a lot of damage, isn't it?
Well, you got 3 armor 14 vehicles, 1's flare shielded coming up the table as well. So chances of losing them are not much. It's just us a proper pro dick list, that.
Well, when you said we were going to talk about them, I thought, right, I've heard they're filth, but let's compare them to the most similar thing in my army's list, so the Imperial Fists, and obviously that leads you to the incredibly a unit no one ever takes, which is the Templar Brethren. But
Templar Brethren,
no one ever takes them because they're too expensive. But when you start comparing them, it makes the suzerain seem even more filthy. So Templar Brethren are basically 35 points each, so 5 points difference. But the difference you get. Their only special rule is Furious Charge. So again, that's a good buff on the charge maybe, but nowhere near as good as what you're getting from your mix of your boarding, your Legacy and Axe, and you got Implacable Advance. They're scoring as well, aren't they? So Brethren, no, they're not scoring. They got the same.
They're fucking score. What?
They're scoring. Yeah, Tom hasn't.
Well.
I don't think Tom mentioned that.
Oh,
so
really?
They're scoring as well. They both got the same transport options. But so what? Wait, I've got some notes here. So what did I put? So your 5 points extra gets you all your special rules. So you've got your leadership bubble one, your Lords of Ultramar. You've got your scoring. You've got your Legacy and Axe included in that. Because that's that. So you're getting that for your 5 points as well. You've got your Command Squad option, your Chosen Warriors. So that's 4 extras compared to 1 extra of Furious Charge with the Templar Brethren.
I'm basically paying a point.
I'd have to buy.
Brethren
would have to buy combat shields just to get shields that you get standard, so that already takes them up. Yeah, they don't come with them.
Suzerains turn up and they're like, Artificer Armor.
Yep.
Axe, you want an axe? Here's an axe. AP2.
Oh, when you get you get that.
Other guys, your brethren turn up and they're like, I'm here to join the brethren. Fist pump.
Yeah, you can buff the champion on the brethren, but you can buff the champion, buy him some really tasty weapons, but the rest of them have only got power swords. So why are you going to pay 35 points a model for a charge with power swords? Because once that first round's gone, they're fucked anyway. So no wonder no one takes them. It's a shame because they're lovely models. But
my suzerain turn up and basically look at your brethren and go, you're the poor man's suzerain, are you?
Yeah, it's. I mean, there's probably extremes. There's probably other legions that have got something that matches a little bit closer.
Well, you know what the issue is there, is that the Templar Brethren and Imperial Fists in general are never supposed to step outside of the fucking wall.
Yeah,
like you're supposed to be behind the wall. So when you go to the fucking war gear, I can't remember the name of it now. The fucking god, Tom's the booze kicking in. The brains are going. They get up to the armorer, that'll do, and I can't remember the proper name of it. And they're like, asking for their weapons and stuff. He's got all these shields, and he's like, why do you want a shield? You got like a fucking 1,000-foot high ceramic, what's it called? Plast fucking impregnable wall. And then he's like, no, I want a weapon. I want a power sword and a shield. And everyone's looking at him like, what? You're going to go and charge someone? What?
But they are, to be fair, they are the legion of boarding shields and stuff, aren't they? Avoid combat and
Yeah.
things. So the shields
Well,
do go.
you-
The thing is, they probably. Well, we're talking about Templar Brethren now rather than suzerains, but Templar Brethren probably should have
Huge.
shields included as their
Yeah, I can't believe you have to buy your shields.
You do. I suppose it's
surely.
because the other special unit is the Phalanx Warders, and they get them as standard, I think. So I don't know what they're supposed to do, the Templar Brethren. I don't know what role they're supposed to fill, but with
Are the Templar Brethren the ones with the little shields? The little dinky ones? They're really cute.
well, yeah,
Or is
they'd
that-
be
or is that
combat
every
shields.
other?
It's the same rules, but yeah, they'd be combat shields rather than boarding shields.
I mean, fluff-wise, the Templar Brethren are supposed to sort of fulfill the similar role, aren't they? They're
Yeah.
the elite,
They are.
the hand-picked warriors, and picked out for greatness.
But the rules are shit.
But-
Basically, that's why everyone just runs Terminators, because your Terminators are better value for money than Brethren. But anyway, that's not. Yeah, we don't want to talk about them. But I just thought there was a really good comparison of how much extra you get. So by the time you add the boarding shields to the Templar Brethren, it makes them 40 points each, with exactly the same points.
And I'm getting 4
And
or
you'll
5
get
more special
all
rules
those
and a
extra
better
things.
weapon.
Yeah, all those extra things on top.
Totally
It
balanced.
just makes it wow. What a
I
difference.
need to rethink my list and put more suzerain in, don't I? I mean, the thing is though, would you say they're unfluffy?
No, not at all. I think it's. I mean, they're supposed to be the future leaders, aren't they? Supposed future These are future captains, aren't they? They're future champions and praetors of your army. So they should be bloody good, and it makes sense. Whether they're, I just think they're a bit too cheap, probably.
100 points undercosted.
Yeah, possibly. You'd still take them if they were 100 points more, wouldn't you?
I think at 50 points more, I wouldn't bat an eyelid. At 100 points more for 5, I would have to think about making sure.
Oh, come on. All right, let's go through every other bodyguard unit. Red Butchers, pretty sure they're I haven't got Battle Scribe to hand. Pretty sure they're topping out more than that.
I'll open up the
Drakes.
Drakes are brutal.
Pretty sure they're more than that. I reckon you could go up to 300, no worries, and it would still be your go-to Death Star delivery with a Primarch in a Spartan sword.
I still take them because they are the army, they are the army. So where we got this? Look at the Emperor's Children. Let's look at. Should we look at Phoenix Terminators? They are 265 points for 5.
And they're fucking garbage in comparison. Yeah, exactly.
So they're 65 points more. I mean, Tyrant Siege Terminators don't really fulfill the same thing.
No, they don't.
They're
Go to check out Red Butchers or Drakes or...
Go to Red Butchers then. Wood Bearers, Salamanders.
Salamander. Hello, Scallop.
So Fire Drakes are 275 points each. They get an extra wound essentially. They're all they're 2 up, 4 up invuln, so they get a better invuln. They all come with the combi bolter and a master crafted power weapon. So you're not getting as good at. No, that's only the Fire Drake Master. It's got Mastercraft. They all get power weapons. So your Suzerain are getting a better offense, but your Fire Drakes are going to be more durable.
Do they have to pay for? Don't tell me they have to pay for shields. Is the shield is the invuln? Is that?
No, they get 4 up invuln from Cataphract the army, don't they? So they get that anyway. But you would probably.
Wait. Am I going mad? I thought they got the better invuln from the Storm Shields.
They don't get Storm Shields as standard. You can.
Isn't Storm Shields just 4 up as well?
Storm Shields 3 up.
3 up. Okay.
They can exchange their combi bolter for a Dragon Scale Storm Shield, which is a 5 up invuln or +1 to their normal, to a maximum of 3. So you can pay 5 points extra a model to make it a 2 up armor, 3 up invuln.
Yeah, with 2 wounds. Yeah,
2 wounds. So Fire Drakes, I mean, offensively, I'm going to be putting you on a 3 up save, really, a 3 or 4 up save, but you've got 2 wounds, and I'm not doubling you out anyway because I'm only strength 4. That's the other thing you got to remember with the axe is it may be AP2, but it's only strength 4. It doesn't get a strength bonus, so there's no doubling out, no getting rid of feel no pains. There's no, you've got to take the wounds off, so you need to be on the charge.
So you're just better off Cataphractii with Thunderhammer Storm Shield.
I struggle. You're gonna hit me back once and take me out. Red Butchers, 5 of them, 275 points. Power Axe, Cataphractii, and Combi Bolter, but they get Hatred, Fearless, and Feel No Pain, and Unstoppable Charge built in. So the Red Butchers actually have a whole ton of rules built in. They're only 1 wound. No, fucking Red Butchers are 2 wounds. Fuck it, Red Butchers are better than Suzerain. Power Axe, giving them what's Power Axe?
How much are they?
275 points for 5. They got Strength 5 on the chart. Strength 5, AP 2 Axe. It's unwieldy, so it's going at last. But you've got Cataphractii, which is a 2-up, 4-up, and you've got a 6-up Feel No Pain, and you've got Hatred.
And they can give more Chain Fists.
And you've got Ravening Madman. So in any that's a negative because you always get hit on a 3 with Ravening Madman. But you can give them a second Power Axe for free. So they've got 3 attacks.
Or Chain Fists.
You've got 3 attacks base, 4 on the charge at Strength 5, Weapon Skill 5 in Cataphractii. I think Red Butchers are. I would
unless you need that crazy, so obviously so the Drakes are ultimate survivability, Red Butchers are smash you in the face, and Suzerain are somewhere in between and really fucking cheap, really cheap.
Yeah, the big thing for Suzerain I found is if you take Drakes or you take Red Butchers, I mean you wouldn't do so much for Red Butchers, but you've got to take a Primus Medicare to get them Feel No Pain in the Drakes. So you're paying 150 odd points to put them in Cataphractii and take a Centurion. Because Suzerain are in Artificer armor, and so's Guilliman, you can take a standard Apothecary and Artificer armor with them. So you can get Feel No Pain in that squad for about 65 points.
And give them an axe. Everybody gets an AP2 axe. There you go.
You can't give a standard Apothecary an axe. But you
what?
Can give them,
they only get power swords. They only get power swords, don't they? Oh.
But you just give them Artificer armor for a 2-up and sit them at the back of the squad.
No axe for you.
No,
he's got enough ECM. He can just use that as well.
You're going to be sticking him at the back of the squad anyway, aren't you?
You stick him at the back of the squad to give everyone Feel No Pain, and you've got Suzerain with a 2-up, 5-up, 5-up Feel No Pain in combat. And the idea with Suzerain is you go through him in the first turn. You just eat your way through him on the charge, and then you move on to the next thing. They don't do good bogged down in combat. Yeah, basically.
Filth. We haven't even looked at the models. Oh my god, let's look at
the models. Are fucking sexy, aren't they?
Let's look at the models. All right, let's look at the models.
I mean, here's a personal question, and it's probably, it's going to sound a bit egotistical.
A personal question?
What do you think?
9 inches.
Yeah, 9.5 on the charge. What do you think of my white shields on my Suzerain that I've done? Because I've seen a lot of blue shields. I've not seen so many white shields.
I think it breaks up the blue really nicely. I think it's good. Yeah. I think I like.
I'm a white whore. I'm addicted to white. Again, not racist.
Oh my God.
But it was fine until you said that. Cool. Yeah, I mean, for those of you who haven't seen them, you can find them on my Instagram at Stallard, STALLARD 129. That's my personal Instagram.
You can follow his webcam on Twitter, and eventually he might look at them randomly, and you'll be able to see them. Yeah. They are. I finally found them. So I'm looking at the Forge World page just because I'm lazy. They look really, really fucking cool.
Did you see how I mixed up the arms on my one guy, and I've got the come at me, bro, Suzerain, where he's got his arms wide open, holding a shield and the sword wide open.
And she's like, whoa, come on.
He's the most egotistical Suzerain ever known.
I think you're going to need to post some pictures of them up in the.
They do look really cool.
So that when people are listening to this, they can actually.
I'll tell you what,
the axes look good. The shields look good. I will say there's literally not a millimeter left on any of them where you could add more detail. The miniatures are amazing.
They are Artificer armor to the max. I'll
You
dump
don't,
some
you don't just get an
pictures.
axe, you get an eagle. It's like, here you go, here's your axe. And you go, oh, awesome, like axe. Hold out your arm, and it's like, Palatina Aquila here, eagle there, turn around, eagle on your ass, turn around, eagle on your crotch. They've got eagles on their crotch plates. How imperial is that? Like, lean forwards, koosh, imprint, eagle on your crotch. Eagle on their face, as if it wasn't enough. You've got an eagle on the axe. Yeah,
Is that too
they
much
are
eagle?
insane. I definitely, if you're an ultramarine, I don't think you can have too much eagle, can you? If you're an
Too
ultramarine,
much fucking eagle.
no, if ultramarine, I'll let you off because they just look so good. They look so fucking good. All of those poses, I haven't seen Tom's angry, egotistical one yet that I can remember, but on the Forge World models, the poses that they've done with those, they look cool, and it's rare to get a really good balance minis between shields and combat weapons. Quite often I find you get either the shield's too big and the weapon looks stupid, or the weapon's too big and you just think, how on earth are they able to hold a shield and actually make use in combat of whatever weapon they've got, whether it's a sword or a hammer or whatever. But the balance on these guys just looks perfect. It looks like you just imagine them shoving that shield in like fucking in your face and then just hacking you apart with this AP2 axe. They're really, really cool.
Yeah, the models do look shit hot. They're really nice. I've seen some really nice conversions up as well. The nice thing is they can you can convert them up as well. Shield, axe, and armor. It's not hard to go and convert them up, if you know what I mean. It's a relatively simple.
Well,
brief,
you can meet the basics. You can meet the basics, like say, of a shield and an axe. But holy shit, that artificer armor is like artificer out the arse.
Yeah, it is properly artificer as anything you want.
Yeah, I do like these. I like these a lot. They're very cool.
Yeah, well, like I said, the sooner you learn to bend down and just let me let my suzerain take you, the easier it will be for you.
I'll be gentle.
I'll be gentle with my AP2 axe.
Oh,
Cool.
they've even got McCrag written on the blade.
Yeah.
The last thing you see is McCrag as it chops your fucking head off.
Smashing you in the face. Sweet. Well, I think that rounds up my lecture on why everybody should play Ultramarines, because we're fucking excellent. So I think we'll go to a little break and we'll come back and chat to you in a few minutes, guys.
Lord Marshal Great, sir. Legion reinforcements now visible on the left flank.
About time. The wolves, I see.
No, sir. Ultramarines, sir.
But they're wearing grey, Proclamator Fennec.
Fox message said new recruits, sir. No time to paint armour. All Legion reinforcements to the right, sir.
Thank you, Fennec. Good to see the scars correctly presented.
Sorry, sir. It's more Ultramarines. New issue armour. Prime white. No time to paint, sir.
Shocking! At least the Raven Guard are in black armour.
Sorry, sir. That's more Ultramarines.
For Emperor's sake, box them and find out why!
Yes, sir. Apparently, also new armour, sir. But the sergeant says it's okay. Their eye lenses are red, and the bolt guns are silver. He said 3 colours minimum, sir.
What the? Get on the Vox now and tell them to contact Miniature Realm Studio.
Miniature Realm Studio, sir.
Yes, Fennec. Miniature Realm Studio offers a commission painting service, competitive rates, and a range of painting standards to suit most budgets and requirements.
Yes, sir. Very good, sir. I suppose they do say that fully painted is for closers.
What does that even mean, Fennec?
I don't know, sir. No one really does, sir.
Miniature Realm Studio can be found on Facebook, on Twitter at Miniature Realms, on Instagram at Miniature Realm Studio, or just drop Stuart an email at miniaturerealmstudio@gmail.com.
Hi guys, welcome back to the G52 podcast. Hopefully you've enjoyed our freaking rambling tonight. I definitely know I'm boozed up on about, I reckon nearly 3/4 of a litre of rum. Nick's been drinking JD and is probably need to go home and punch somebody for a minute. So we're going to wrap up the show before it gets all a bit too weird and sexual. So We're going to start off with a few shout-outs to some events coming on. There's the Defence of Orpingham Tetrius down at 40k Gaming in Colchester, run by Adam, who's you'll find all over our page spamming away like a good heresy addict.
So why do I recognise the 40k? Is that the Overlords guys?
No. The Overlords go to the Overlords Club, but the 40k Gaming used to advertise on the Overlords podcast. So that's where you know from, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So they're a big 40. It's 4, the number, TK, as in the letters, and they were a big. I think they're a gaming shop up that way, and they've got some tables and stuff. So Adam's running the event there. I think, Stu, did you say they're running low on tickets up there? They've sold out quite a few.
I think I saw a message a couple of days ago saying he only had a couple left. So it looks like it's going well. And if that's not right, Adam, let us know and we'll rectify that in the next show.
Yeah. So that's 20th of November. Get your stuff together, go down there. If you're in Essex, you probably want to take your Ford Escort, your white Escort Capri, and drive up to Colchester and drive down from Southend-on-Sea and take your bling 40k army and your
whack on your Reebok Classic.
Take your missus up for a night out the night before so she can dance around her handbag and all the
all that in her white stilettos. Go and party the Essex way. Go down there and enjoy that. I don't know if any of you guys have seen. I know me, Stu, and Nick will be in there.
It's like the racist episode. Why are you being so mean about all these cultures?
Because I'm
Essex culture.
Is Essex a culture?
As a TV show, it must be.
My ex-girlfriend's from Essex. I spent quite a lot of time in Southend-on-Sea. I've got experience, I'm allowed to say.
So I did, but the bit I was in was really dull. Like, it was in the countryside, like Sudbury in Suffolk, but it's like in Essex.
That's not Essex. What?
Epic.
Epic.
I ain't got any epics.
Okay, epics.
The 3/4 of a bottle of rum says I ain't got no epics.
Fucking my head hurts around on these feet.
So yeah, go out there, get your white stilettos on, get your handbag, dance around the table playing 40k. 40k? We don't want to play that shit. No, we want to play 30k, don't we? That's what we want to play.
30k at 40k.
Yeah, 30k at 40k Gaming. Go and support Adam. He's a good dude. He thinks it's his first event he's putting on. He's working really hard to get it on. So go out there, go smash out some serious heresy. The other thing that I was going to talk about before we realised that we were being very xenophobic was if you're in the Southwest, there's a new club that's popped up. There Smells Like Heresy Southwest 30k Gaming Club. Sam and a few guys down there have set up a group for the Southwest of Wales. Southwest and Wales. They're trying to sort out some games in Bristol and Cardiff. They're looking to put an event on, so keep your eyes peeled for that. Hopefully there'll be another event coming out there.
I think they're planning something for the end of January. There was a post today Sam put up, but I didn't look any details because we were just about to go on start recording, but it looks like there's a doubles event or something they're trying to do. So lots going on. So if you're in the Southwest, definitely find them on Facebook because there's a lot of chat on there.
Yeah. I mean, the Southwest is cheese country, and we seem to have a serious heresy scene. We've got Incom Gaming's events that we're putting on with the Gino. You got Southwest putting them on. You got Firestorm Games with Greg and his event he put on this year. So the Southwest seems to be the place to be. All you northern people north of the M42, you better step up and start putting some events on. Southwest is taking over in our heresy scene. So give those boys a jump in. It's a really nice.
Wait, what? The normal people above the northerners aren't normal.
I said northern.
Oh, if we said normal people above the fucking hell. God,
there ain't nothing normal above the M42, mate.
Fucking winter is coming, mate. Jesus.
So far in the last 10 minutes, we've had to go at Essex and we've had to go at the entire north of the country. We're making friends here tonight. So, what was it Greg described us as? Not afraid to put a strong opinion out there. I think we're well on that.
What's the worst that can happen? They withhold iron brew and pies. Oh no.
Do you know what? I worked in Leeds, working on a job site in Leeds, and do you know what? Being able to go to the chip shop and get chips and gravy
without being shot. That's a good job. Well done.
I got really drunk on Old Rosie cider in the pub up there in Leeds. I did a pub quiz. And
you went all the way to Leeds and had some
Rosie cider. Yeah. Don't you make it in your back garden? Isn't that isn't the first tree that they grew Rosie cider from in your
Yeah, they brew it out something else now. So yeah, Southwest, jump in the Smell Like Healthy group if you're anywhere near the Southwest, or even if you just want to be involved in a really nice group. There's cool painting and shit going on in there. So jump in there. More importantly, though, I'm going to make the first very vague announcement of an event that's going to run in Worcester in the next somewhere in we're aiming for midsummer next year. This is screw the heresy. We're not interested if you're loyalist or traitor. It's about getting your club together. It's about bringing your pride home, and it's going to be gang warfare. So we're talking about a 6-team heresy event that's going to get rid of the lines of loyalist and traitor, and we're going to talk about bringing club pride. So the Gino, the 6-up save guys from Worcester, we're calling all other heresy clubs out. We want teams of 5. It's going to be an all-day event. There's going to be lots of weird shit going on. There's going to be awesome narrative gaming. There's going to be planets to take over. There's going to be dangerous weapons to win. There's going to be all kinds of stuff going on. But keep your ears peeled, because me and Sam, who you might remember from a couple of episodes ago, are working on an event. It's going to be absolutely insane. It's going to be like nothing you've ever seen. And it's all about bringing the pride from your club. So, guys, if you're in a 30k club, start looking at getting yourself together into a team of 5 and bring in your stuff. And we're going to punch each other in the face until we decide who's the best heresy club in the nation. Yeah, so that's going to be pretty wicked. Me and Sam, we're off to 40k Brawl in January as well. I'm taking Sam down there. We're going to go down to the 40k heresy event Jeez, man, the rum's kicking in now. The 30k heresy event run by 40k Brawl down in Colchester. Not Colchester. Fuck, where is it? Seriously, guys.
I'm just enjoying this this car crash of a closing section that you're delivering.
Do you know what used to happen? Do you know what used to happen? Well, I used to drink like this, and then people would take me home, and I was told I was not allowed to do shit. You two seem to be quite happy just to let me get drunk and talk shit. So
we're not in the same room as you, so it's a lot easier to.
My face is so hot. I'm just sat
it's
here.
It's a one-day
leaning against the TV listening to it. It's like.
It's a 1-day, 2.5k, 30k tournament event down at Harnham Scout Hall, run by 40k Brawl.
Where?
Harnham
Scout Hall. What the fuck?
What the fuck's wrong with you?
What kind of place names himself Harlem Scalpel?
Harnham. No, Harnham. Well, it's down south somewhere. I think it's Salisbury way. I paid for a ticket and I'm going. So, quite frankly, I don't really care. But this event is sponsored by our good friends at Income Gaming. So Chip's managed to wangle his way in here. I'm sure he's probably done some sexual favours or something to give somebody an event. So yeah, we're going down there. Check it out. There's still some tickets for sale for that. The next one, should we give a shout out to, is Escalation. Now, this is really good because if you want to come to Escalation, well, you can't. It's sold out. They sold 30 tickets in a day, and they sold 42. They sold out to 42 tickets in the next 2 days. It's going to be the premier Horus Heresy event run outside of the events I run. So, those guys are never going to hit my standards, but they look like they're putting a shit hot event on down in Southampton. It's going to be 3K, 2 days, absolute madness in a hotel in central Southampton. Lots of cool dudes, lots of events. I think there's going to be loads of the Heresy people represented. Me and Nick are going to go down there. I'm probably going to drink just as much rum, and I'm probably going to be as coherent as I am now.
I'm going to win.
So Nick's going to win because he's going to bring Scoria, a knight, and all his Mechanicum, because that's all he's painted. I'm going to go get drunk and fall asleep under the table, and generally, I think it's going to be a pretty wicked weekend, isn't it, Nick?
Success. Yeah, sounds good.
Cool. So if you want your event shouted out in the UK or abroad or wherever, well, I say shouted out. If you want me to
Speaking of abroad, dude, did you see the Gibraltar guys?
Yeah, SN Battles.
They started doing 30k now as well.
Yeah.
Oh my God, did you see the terrain and them? Oh,
They just did their
So good.
40k tournament, didn't they? Their No Retreat 3, and now they've just
Yeah.
done 30k. And Gibraltar, where the law doesn't apply in Gibraltar, it's just
no laws apply. It's just like that's how they took it from Spain.
Basically,
Like,
all I know,
no laws apply. Would take this island, thanks.
all I know about Gibraltar is there's monkeys and it's near Africa. So I mean, what you need to know? Take some dice, take some plastic soldiers, go fiddle with a monkey and throw some dice around. It's
There's
definitely no laws there.
That's why Dark Eldar keep winning all their events, because
Yeah.
they just kill the opponent. There's no laws. They just shoot them, win.
Yeah. So just go for it. So yeah, SM Battle Reports. They if you go check them out on Facebook, they do some really cool battle reports, and they're running their no retreat event next year for Heresy.
Very sexy.
So yeah, if you want me to drunkenly slur through your own event, send it in. Give us an email. Nobody will know what we're talking about, but
Nobody will be any wiser afterwards. But it sounds.
They might remember your name. But what will probably happen, as we'll rely on our reliable member, is Stu will put most of these events up in show notes, and there'll be links to Facebook groups where you can find them and actually, get the information from and find something out, where rather than our kind of mess here. So yeah, 30k channel, don't we, David? Mr. David, who was very kind enough to come on and chat to us. Was it last episode, Stu?
It was the last episode, yeah. He's just put out his 4th video. It's Mechanicum versus Alpha Legion. Just finished watching it myself. I know you guys have watched it too. Really, really good. So if you haven't picked up and listened to it before, please do go and visit his channel and watch his videos. They are awesome stuff, and he's got some really, really cool things planned for the future. So go and give him a watch. So it's a 30k channel on YouTube. So go and watch some Heresy rather than just listen to it.
Yeah. I watched the video the other day, which was really good. Yeah, go give the 30k channel a shout. He's trying to do more and more stuff, churn out more and more content. Sorry, guys. I would like to be pretty, but we have a group shared Google Docs, and Nick is typing some fucking incessant shit into this. So I'm going to scroll down the page and stop listening. So
is it a link to Alcoholics Anonymous? That'd probably be a good. I bet Faye's listening through to the other room, thinking, "Oh fucking hell, he's coming to the end. He's going to be coming to bed soon. Oh, fuck it. I'm going to pretend I'm asleep. Pretend I'm asleep.
The bruise is going to start.
In the last break we just had, I went and got the ear defenders out of the pocket of my work coat and gave her my ear defenders to go to bed with. So hopefully she can't hear any of this shit.
She can't hear you screaming at her as you beat her.
But yeah, so 30k channel, go and check David out there. Apologies, David, you did such a better job on your video of giving us a shout out than this drunken shit that we're going out. But 30k channel, YouTube. Go and subscribe. Go and watch it. It's fucking brilliant. Go and enjoy it.
Really good. Did you see? I got to say, it was the latest one. Really good game. I cannot believe the Alpha Legion pulled out the win. As amazing as the channel is,
you've just spoiled that video for everyone who hasn't watched it yet.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
They might win, maybe.
I need to sleep.
Just title the episode of this. Title the episode "Spoiler Warning." Everyone warning. We can't do much more.
I'm really sorry. I was going to say the fucking cybernetica list was filthy, but just ruined the whole. Oh well. Sorry.
Anyway, moving on. Have a check out of our fucking slick professional. Go and check out some other Heresy casts. If you want slick professional, go and talk to Vangarian, or go and talk to the Age of Darkness or the Forgotten Legion. If you want slightly more oddball, go and talk to the Eye Horus guys. They're pretty cool. If you want some serious Swedish powerhouse, screw you into the ground, go and talk to the Northern Heresy guys. Genzalinas will absolutely give you some filthy lists, with their casual glaive. Go and see Jake at the Covenant of Fire if you want some genuine good old-fashioned Southern hospitality. There's also After Eleanor, the best book club going, and check out the Loaded Dice because they seem about as drunk as we are. Gonna give one last final shout out to Freddie's Warlord Titan raffle. We are for recording on the Friday night. It is being drawn on the Sunday, so if Stu gets his finger out and gets it released tomorrow, this will make sense. If he doesn't, then you're all screwed anyway. But yeah, go and support Freddie if you can. Get him some money. He's doing it all for charity. There's a pro-painted Warlord Titan that has been fingered by Mr. Brian Kimmel as well, so it's worth double the money now. Go and throw your money at that. Any other business then? I think, Nick, you've got something to finish on, haven't you? A nice quote?
Yeah, I saw this across the interwebs. Some guy was claiming that people were like stuck up gamers because they wouldn't let him play with his 40k miniatures. He basically said because it wasn't in the rules that he had to use Mark IV, Mark III, Mark II armor, that he was just going to use his Marines, and it made no sense to him why he should have to buy them again. He's like, I've got 40 Bolter Marines. Why am I going to buy another 40 Bolter Marines? And there was a massive long... He had to be a troll, to be honest with you. But there was a massive long...
So it was a post you put up then, Nick?
So, Alpha Legion post, Secrets and Lies, don't know who it was. And it was PsyOps. And all these arguments, and there's just this voice that kind of cut through the din, and he said, and I quote, I wouldn't mind if somebody showed up with Mark 7 or 8 Marines. I would probably think that guy is a cool, free spirit kind of thinker kind of guy, and I'd even let him pork my sister. These are the kind of these are the kind of go-getters we need more of in this hobby.
Fair play. If he let me pork his sister, I'll take my 40k armor.
Oh, peace out. Peace out.
I think on that beautiful statement, guys, I think we're going to leave you all to go and actually talk to somebody who's sensible and not a fucking mess like we are. Enjoy, guys. Take it easy. Peace out. We shall see you in a few weeks.
Bye.
Take care, guys.
It's time to act quickly. people we surround.